that microphone working? Y'all hit the one, let me know if the microphone is working. Because I see folks is in a playful mood today, and that's wonderful. She said she wants tacos. Yes, happy Tuesday. Thanks, V in training. Thanks, Ebo. Y'all saw that right there. Chick Noir needs some attention, y'all. Good evening, Chick Noir, right? How about I agree with you? Not all blue mountains are dusty, right? Not all black Maseratis are dusty. That's a fact, girl. That's a fact. Not all baller mats are dusty. I'm hoping and praying that that's what you're talking about, because if you're talking about Tyrone and them, you got me fucked up, baby. That's sad. Chick Noir, hit the link, boo. My link is available to everybody that's in the comment section. And it seems like you want to tell me, all right, that Blue Mountains, not all of them are dusty. And I agree with you. Come agree with me. Okay. Kyra, put the link in the chat for Chic Noir. I'm hoping you enjoying your attention, baby, because you tried it. Anyway, happy Tuesday. If you're here, you made it through Memorial Day and you saw all the bullshit that went down. VN Training's here, Kyra's here, Barry Lynn is here. We got Aquarius Shade. Ironically, we got Chic Noir here, right? We got Lady Posh in the building. Who else? Who else? We got Jupiter in Motion here. Who else do we have? Myra's here. Ladies, I told you in a no uncertain terms that this past weekend was going to be amazing in the black community, and they never failed, right? We're going to get to the subject matter real quick, but let me do this first and show y'all how beneficial it is for you to stay the fuck out of Blackistan. Do you see that? More than 50. Now, this is one city. One. We ain't talking about Detroit and Baltimore and New York and LA and all these crazy ass places like Memphis. And that one city got 50 plus.
Hey, good morning, guys. Now, these are just preliminary numbers that we have tallied up so far, but that we're on track to actually have more gun violence that happened this weekend, Memorial Day weekend, than last year's Memorial Day weekend. I want to take you guys to one of the scenes that we're talking about. This is the latest one that happened last night along the lakefront. Chicago Fire telling us they transported a 19-year-old woman from the DuSable Harbor just before 10 o'clock last night. Police are saying she was riding her bicycle when an unknown male started shouting at her before firing off rounds. After receiving a gunshot wound to the thigh, she was taken to Northwestern Hospital in fair condition. The shooter still on the loose. Then we go to Sunday night, where more bloodshed happened after a woman was shot while sitting in a parked car with a man in the River North neighborhood. Police say it happened on the 500 block of West Erie. Four guys approached the vehicle, one of them reaching inside and punching the man in the face, while another shot the woman in the back. She's also listed in fair condition. Now, these numbers show 54 people were shot this Memorial Day weekend, with 9 killed. And these numbers came in while Chicago police had every full-duty sworn-in officer working without any days off during the holiday weekend. But this time last year, only 3 were killed, while 37 were shot during the Memorial Day holiday. While police are working around the clock, people who live in Chicago say something has to change.
We pay all this money to live down here, and we can't feel safe.
I wanted to stop it there. She said, we pay all this money to live down here. We can't feel safe. Did y'all hear the key points in this goddamn video? If you didn't see it, let's say this. They said every sworn officer was there. Every last one of them. And they still couldn't stop the bullshit from happening. They still couldn't stop over 50 people getting their ass handed to them by the Blackistani dusties of the neighborhood. Now, I'm going to tell you something. We laugh, we joke, we play, and I love it because we've all left Blackistan. But here's the deal. We got people in the chat that's still on some not all shit, right? And po baby for her. While y'all bodies are dropping, she wants you to know Not all. Not all. This is why it's important to get away from folks like that. She wrote that shit and said she had smoke, right? While a video is playing of 50 people that got bullets inserted into them is playing in the back. Y'all, if that ain't dangerous, I don't know what is. You're seeing it in real time. They don't care about you, right? We got another one coming up. Father's Day's coming up, and that's a really tricky one in the Black community, right? Then we got Independence Day coming up. We got the whole summer coming up. It's warm, the laws are lax, and people are able to get firearms, whether it's legally or unlegally and illegally. And here it is. She said, not all. I cannot make this shit up. Sheik Noir, if you see that link, you click that link. Do you hear me? Also, since you got typing fingers, go ahead and type in the chat what your name is over here on StreamYards, because I'm sure it's 2 different names, because a lot of you mammies keep 18 different names everywhere you go. Okay? This was one city, y'all. One. That Dusty said that they're projected to get even more, right? Even more than last year. This is sad shit. It's a shame that I have to tell you, thank goodness you made it through the goddamn weekend. When you're dealing with Blackistan, it's an issue, right? Welcome to the panel, Ebony Phoenix. Welcome to the panel, Aaliyah and Shane and Elle. Aaliyah, what's the deal? Why I pull up my real subject matter? Because we already knew this was going to happen.
Well, to the person who said not all, but we told y'all it's all, from the cradle to the grave, hashtag all, from the window to the wall, from the dust they were born, and from the dust they shall return. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. But no, let me stop. I'm just playing. But no, I'm serious. But either way, when I see stories like that, I just remember back to a few lives ago when it seems like people have a problem when we say that their mothers really need to watch their backs. And it's ironic because I was reading an article a couple weeks ago where they were talking about in Mississippi, the police there are trying to get ordinances passed to where they can hold the parents accountable for their children's crimes, particularly the gun crimes. And I thought about it. Could you just imagine who is going to suffer from that the most if they can get that passed?
Oops.
The single Black mothers. Because you know it, when they say parents, it's rarely a 2-parent household. So you already know they're coming for these mammies with these sons with all this goddamn crime and gun violence. So when people sit up and say you can't blame their mothers for what they do, bullshit. They're trying to find a way to hold them accountable because they're trying to curb some of the violent offenses committed by minors. They're trying to start that shit in Mississippi right now. Google it. You're gonna be surprised. Google it.
There's a lot of interesting laws happening out here these days. Also, there's a law in the book, I believe that's in Tennessee, that just passed. If you take your drunk ass out here driving and you hit someone and kill them, if that person that you killed had minor children, you go on child support, bitch. You go on child support because you took away their benefactor and their guardian. Right? Y'all better get away from these folks quick, fast, and in a hurry. What's happening, Shane?
Nothing much. Just, I mean, I want to be outraged, but it's just like, it's expected. It's just expected. And I'm sick of hearing about it. But with the Mississippi, talking about holding the parents accountable, I mean, yes, it's definitely going to affect Black mothers the most because they're the only ones who are actually around to get in contact with. Mm-hmm. So, they really need to consider that in Black women who don't have children already. yeah, don't have any with any nakers, because he's going to split. And not only are you going to have all of the responsibilities of both parents, you're going to be the one who gets taken out or has to be held accountable for crimes and stuff when they get out here and act a fool.
We fixing to elaborate tonight. We're going to talk about the stages of dust. Because if I see another mammy in my comment section attempting to throw a guilt trip because some of the people that we talk about that are dusties are minors as well, no. If you're caring about minors, you might want to go over to the manosphere and tell them to stop lusting after them. How about that part? Right? How about that part? Elle, are you there?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
What's happening, boo?
Hey there, everybody. I just want to say that I am not shocked by the report you just showed us. I wish I could be, but I'm past where anything shocks me anymore.
Mm-hmm. It is what it is. What's going on, Ebony? Before I get down to the drag,
Nothing much. Just another day in not
another holiday
Blackistan.
weekend. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and not Blackistan. I mean, it's for me anyway. I don't I I do have a problem with holding all the mothers accountable. And here's the reason. Black women usually when they're in Blackistan, a lot of them usually have more than one child.
Mm-hmm.
If one of the kids, usually the boy, and sometimes it's the girl, is way out of line. There's some emotional or mental problems with those kids. They don't have the wherewithal to actually take care of those kids very well, and it's very difficult. And I've seen some very wealthy parents try to deal with their wayward kid. It had nothing to do with the parent. Now, I say go get the Dusty who planted seed and left.
That's a good fucking idea too. Somebody got to pay because the thing is, they're not making the minors pay. You can only go but so far before bleeding heart liberals come out here talking about that's a child. That's a child right there. You
Well,
know
when the
that's
child
a
commits
child.
murder,
Man, listen.
that's
They
a
don't
grown up
do
offense.
they don't always charge them as adults. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes they get let the fuck out on their 18th and 21st birthdays and they live to kill again. It just is what it is. Somebody got to pay for that shit though. Somebody got to pay. You can't just have a litter of people that ain't got no goddamn guidance, don't have no fucking morals, don't
I'm
have no sense of family, and then just let them out into the street so we'll deal with them. Look, I'm only dealing with 911 or my peace. Okay, I'm not gonna try to talk to your kid, especially when he's standing there with that dead look in his face, ready to fuck some shit up.
Well, DZ, I had people from kindergarten that I went to school with, and it was the boys, oh my God, who were violent from the get.
Mm-hmm.
You never knew what those kids saw at home. I knew what I was seeing at home, but those kids were violent. Those boys were violent from the get go. And a lot of times they were put in juvie, let out, commit another crime, juvie again, let out, commit another crime. And then they ended up in prison.
Well, let's do this. Let's go. Let's go. Let's scroll down a little bit. All right. The dust stages start here. Now, for those of you that want children, please consider, right, how they came about. I don't think it's a good idea for a Hennessy lace. I just got my PlayStation 5, still living with my mama as Dusty to be getting raw coochie off of you. That's just my opinion. Okay. It depends on how that child is going to be made, how the outcomes, it affects the outcomes big time. So if you already having problems with money, the last thing you need in your life is a child.
Say it louder, louder.
Okay. But there's that. So you have two different worlds, right? Infancy consists of 0 to 18 months. Y'all, it's already started. Remember, we just talked about the conception piece of it? Remember that? Well, in the community on the right, usually that dude's dad has gone ahead and left. He's gone. He's gone. The majority of the time, anything over 50% is the majority. We're already starting out fucked up. Already. This is the stage where you learn trust in infancy. You cry and see if somebody comes to take care of you. You start learning those passive and inactive motor skills, yawning, you know, just reflex type shit. This is a stage where it all begins. Have y'all ever seen a baby that was with their mammy? And I'm using that term on purpose. And she'll sit there and just let him cry his head off. Just cry his goddamn head off. Not considering other people in the room, not considering the kid's needs, not considering anything that's going on because of how that baby was made. It reflects how she cares for that kid. It starts here. So when your mammies get in the comment sections talking about y'all should leave kids off the table, part of the reason that your community is dusty is there's a lot of unwanted children there. Tell me when I've lied. Okay, let's go down a little bit more. Okay, y'all. This is where they learn social norms, seeing if their parents are kind to each other, what a hug is, how to get things from people, whether you're supposed to smile, whether you're supposed to touch, and there's some more trust going on here. This also happens to be the stage where the parents begin telling the community on the right that they're victims already. You're instilling victimhood in them already. Oh, you only said that to him because he's a little black boy. He hears you.
But DZ, this is also the stage when they start knocking the shit out of those kids too.
Listen, that whole community is fucked up. Every part of it. Is fucked up.
Here's the thing. I heard you, Ebony. I hear you. But I think when it comes to the parent thing, I think that people are getting less and less sympathetic to a lot of this shit because I think they're watching television and they're seeing what we're seeing. And I think a lot of people are just getting fucking tired of them
I'm tired
tearing up
too.
entire neighborhoods. And they're
I
trying
get
to,
it.
I mean, and then
I get that.
nobody wants to take responsibility for anything.
There
They
you
just keep
go,
coming
right
to the
there.
bill.
That's the
They just
problem with
keep,
Blackistan. They do
yeah,
not make the males responsible for their sexual activity.
and it's like,
That's the
yes,
problem.
that too. But like I said, nobody wants to take responsibility. So at the end of the day, they're getting less and less sympathetic to Black women also
Oh,
because we are
definitely.
the gatekeepers to a lot of this bullshit
Oh,
because we
thank you,
don't know
Jesus.
when to plug it the fuck up. These men walking around here with 33 kids and 11 and 12 baby mamas and all this goofy ass shit. And this is what I'm saying. People are getting less and less. The more and more ridiculous these stories get to where you got this one man with a ridiculous amount of kids and a ridiculous amount of baby mamas, and they've all done it. All of the rappers from Future to DMX to Lil Wayne, they got whole goddamn football teams. We're talking about men with 7 and 8 out
Nick
10
Cannon.
and 12 kids.
Nick
I mean,
Cannon. You
one
left him out.
man.
You left Nick Cannon out. Yeah, I mean,
Exactly.
I get it.
Nick Cannon. And
Hmm.
people are getting less and less sympathetic with hearing your sad stories about this shit. People don't want to hear you playing the goddamn violin all the time. We're trying to figure out how we can curb some of this shit because you're getting out of hand.
The
And they're
only
going
way you're going to curb it, though, honey, is when the girls take responsibility for their sexuality also. And a lot of times the girls are groomed. I hate to say this, they are groomed to be trash and to let trash on them. The
All of
truth
these
is the
are
truth.
reasons why it's important to get you and the one you love or your kids or whoever away from that community. You have to. You have to, unless you want a catastrophe on your hands. And it could be as small as them not even knowing how to talk right. At this stage right here, they're learning language. Now, let me tell you something. They're just making little goo goo gaga sounds, but they hear your cadence. They hear how you talk. They start saying words like hospital instead of hospital. Do you understand
Oh,
what I'm
okay,
saying?
yeah.
They're getting shit like screek from you. They're getting a way to pronounce stuff, and it's not correct. So when we get to what? The preschool area, let's scroll down a little bit more. Then then we gonna have some problems. We're gonna have some problems. Okay? Because if the lady that works at the school, the social worker, whatever she is, whatever her capacity is, calls Keisha, Keisha is going to blame everything on race. Everything. You can't tell her, hey, Jaquez needs a speech therapist without her saying, oh, you just saying that because this, and this. She never considers whether he needs a speech therapist. That's why if y'all got daughters, just put in their head to stay away from this group of people. Because even if the kid is nice, he has Dusties in his family that's trying to influence him, not his father. He has Dusties in his family that's going to tell him how to get hoes, how he's the prize, how to get something for nothing, how he's the victim. Okay.
DZ, can we put them in jail if they have more than 2 kids or something? Can
Child,
they
I
get
wish
penalized for having? Because I mean, they're just spreading seed and walking.
they say
That's the
this shit to
problem.
them, though. They say stuff like, let me tell you how to get hoes to a child. We
Yes.
talking somebody that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years old. He's calling the little girls hoes already. Already. And this is also the stage where they're supposed to learn social skills, and y'all already know what that's about. Oh, because he knows what's going on at the house, there's going to be a little bit of violence. Don't forget, Pakistani households have 3 times the domestic violence of other households. So how do you think Lil Jaquez is going to solve his problem when he has a problem with that little girl over there? He going to take a Tonka trunk and knock her the fuck out. Period. These
Some
is
boys
your
start
people.
filling you up at that age too.
They do. Absolutely. Absolutely. Y'all, let me keep going. Yeah, the social skills they not gonna happen. They're not gonna happen. Okay. Oh boy. This is when the real dust kicks in. Early school years, ages 5 to 12. Y'all, Keisha has told dude on the right, I don't care who it is. If they hit you, hit them back. I don't care if it's a little girl. I don't care. Then she's going to tell Jaquez that your daughter's fast because she said, hi. That's a fast ass little girl. These are the values in the black community, y'all. I shit you not. I shit you not. For the most part, the black community can't stand little black girls. They can't. Okay. And they're protective over the little black boys in the schools. I shit you not. It's on you, L.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, my phone was out over here doing some weird ass shit. All right, I just don't want to sound like sound like a robot, but I agree with everything that y'all are saying, and I do agree that, like we've said before, little girls are expected to know everything. We come out the womb expected to know everything and make good choices and never make a mistake, and the boys get excuses made all up on a lot of times until they pass away. They are never held accountable for anything in the black community.
Mm-mm. If he doesn't do his homework, that's the teacher's fault. If he doesn't know how to spell something, that's also the teacher's fault. Mind you, that's your kid. That's your kid. The preschool time was to teach him how to spell his name and all that shit. They bring them kids up to their school, and half of them can't spell their name, probably because it's complicated, number one. But number two, they don't, they want the school to raise the kid. And that's just not how life works. And this is why they get disinterested at this stage, and the mothers make excuses for it. I'm talking about we fixing to get into some real live dust here, y'all. This stage right here is when the dust is getting comfortable. Comfortable. When's the last time you seen one of them little motherfuckers reading a let's just say Kindle? I don't want to say book because books ain't it no more. A Kindle or reading anything. If you see them doing something, they're probably playing a game. We got
Right.
some, we got some teachers in this community, in the divested community. A lot of them are leaving the profession because they're called to be the social worker, the mom, the teacher, the nurse, the everything. All you have to do as a Pakistani baby mama, the one that didn't want the kid in the first place, is just make sure you're in place when it's time for them to get out of school. I shit you not. I shit you not. Pink Extra, welcome to the panel, ma'am.
Hello, everybody. I,
Hey.
w- I wanted to say, F them baby kids. Fuck them kids. Fuck little Octavius and his BDBs. Shit logs all on his head looking crazy in South Florida. I will say, speaking of this age group, when I was 5 years old, it was at that moment I knew I did not want kids. At 5 years old, I
Wow.
saw those mofos around me. I said, I'm not having kids. As a matter of fact, speaking of blaming young girls, I remember, I'm sure we're going to the next age group in a second. When I was in high school, I reported some Glocktavia's EBT blood type nakers for sexual harassment. I went to the principal. It was an Air Mattress Mendingo principal. The first thing he mentioned was what I was wearing, not the fact that these males from the projects were sexually harassing me. It was, what were you wearing?
Yeah, that's how it is. You can't do anything right. And if the proof is in the pudding, if the black community cared about black little girls, that shit like that wouldn't be happening. Also, the new boyfriends wouldn't be coming around because you wouldn't trust nobody around your daughter or whatever. If you made a mistake and you have a kid that wasn't born in the right circumstances, there's a way to correct that. But what Blackistani and mammies do, they keep trying over and over and
Over and
over and
over.
over until
Oh,
you end up with 5, 6 different baby daddies. And then all of a sudden you want to look at the rest of the society and say somebody got to take care of these kids. I know y'all
my
remember
child
that.
was 7 years old, DZ, when I had to take her out of very nice public school and put her in a private school because some little black boy, was touching her, just touching her hair, touching her, just touching her. And she came home and complained about it. And I'm like, oh no, we're not doing this one.
They don't have boundaries. When you
They
correct
don't.
little black boys, that's racism. Do you hear what I'm saying to you? You can't tell them anything. You can literally tell them, hey, don't knock your teeth out with that hammer. Well, why you didn't tell him that? You just telling him this because he black. It's like, girl, the boy gonna knock his teeth out of his goddamn mouth. Be my guest. Go ahead and let him do it. What the fuck ever. Okay. Next stage.
Ew. No. No.
This is the stage where
when
you're
they really
supposed to be thinking about what college you're going to go to, what you want to be when you grow up, all this good shit, trying to figure out what your social circle going to look like. You're supposed to be trying to plan life. You're supposed to have a little bit of anxiety because it's anxiety inducing to have to think about what you're going to do with the rest of your life. Well, at this stage, this is around the time where Blackistani citizens start collecting baby mamas. Tell me I'm lying. I'm so glad that in the black community that the teen pregnancy rate has come down just a little bit, but it's still happening way too much. Way too much. It's on you, Aaliyah.
Oh no, I this age group I know it well. I I got several family members that fit right into this age group. My cousin's little boy, 12 years old, told one of his little classmates, when you gonna let me fuck you? And I'm like, okay,
Wow.
so what the hell? And that's because they let him listen to all this garbage, all this music. Cause I like, where in the hell, like, why is his mind even on that? Like children this age, like I just at that age, I had so much other shit going on. It's like we wanted to be in sports, we wanted to join the band, we wanted to be cheerleaders, we wanted to be flag girls. It was just so much shit that was going on that nobody had time to be at this age to be thinking about hardcore fucking already.
Well, in the
And
black
I'm like,
community, sex is it's an activity that's like their trading apparatus, if you get what I'm saying. That's
yeah, I
all they
think
have as a resource.
this age group, I said, it's sad because they are coming out the womb disrespectful already. And it's like, you have no respect. And it's like, I don't understand what the fuck is going on with these.
Let
I
them have
digress.
it. That's what I say. Let them have it because them being respectful and all that shit, that's on the black and standing citizens to deal with. I'm telling y'all to get the fuck away from 'em. Let it fall. Let it burn. Let it implode. Don't try to fix it. These slides right here is just to tell you what you're leaving. This is just to tell you what you're leaving. You're
I want to
leaving.
tell DZ, can I say something real
Yes,
quick?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I want to tell Aaliyah, at least your family member had the presence of mind to ask the girl. I had several accused of rape.
Mm.
Yeah.
I had several in this age group, a couple shoot people in the head for a gang initiation.
Oh wow.
That's
Wow.
where they went on their 18th birthday to federal prison.
Wow.
Isn't that special? And then I'm sure somebody's gonna give them a homecoming fucking parade because that's like graduation in Blackistan coming home from jail.
Now they're going for life, baby.
Oops.
They're down for life. They're no to take innocent people and shoot them because so and so said that you should do that. And you're 17. You do this, then you turn 18, you transferred. You're down for life. No parties for you.
Y'all, these people at this age can hurt you. Okay? Yes, they're children, but a lot of them have a lot of strength. Okay? And I got some shit queued up to show y'all that's absolutely disgusting. You can go ahead and make sure that you keep your head on a swivel when it comes to this age group as well. In the black community, these little motherfuckers are already robbing, sexually assaulting, stealing, trespassing, and all types of shit at this age. Don't let them send you on a guilt trip for this shit. You're protecting your goddamn self. Okay? Let's keep it moving. I have a feeling this slide gonna be up for a minute because that is a long time. 18 to 40. Right? Now, stuff like marriage, family building, career building, saving on your 401k, having an actual savings account, purchasing homes, that type of shit should be going on here. Well, in the black community, right? The boys are taught that they are oppressed and they wear that shit like a badge across their chest. They love that shit. They love that they're classified as fucking oppressed because guess what? You don't supposed to expect much from anybody that's oppressed. Quick money, robberies, drug dealing, drug taking, creating more baby mamas at this stage because you remember you already got a couple from the previous stage. Now we got 3, 4, and 5 because we're going to clubs. We're going on vacation. We're passport bros. Oh, it was just a one night stand. The condom popped ass group. Now, mind you, while other motherfuckers in other areas are doing what they're supposed to be doing, right? Later on in the next stage, they're going to say, well, it's because we were oppressed. Don't go for this bullshit. If you're going to be with somebody, you want them to be a corny motherfucker that's always doing some work. You don't need a social butterfly. Can he be one? Absolutely. But that motherfucker needs to work. He needs to always have his nose to the grind, doing something, building, competing, period. Shane, I don't know who this dude is back here. Big Dick John. I don't know what's going on, but darling, child, you don't want no smoke. Anyway, go ahead, Shane.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I don't see anybody back there. But yeah, 18 to dang, that's the awful. I thought that young adulthood was like maybe 18 to 30. They consider up to 40 young adulthood. You good and grown by 30.
Yep.
But anyway, it doesn't matter because the nigger never grows up mentally anyway, no matter how old he is. At this stage, 18 to 40, mentally he's still about 12.
Yeah.
So he's not going to do anything to get himself to the appropriate stage in life that other men are at. Even when you do raise them in an environment where they're taught at this point in your life, this is what you're supposed to be doing. You can write it out for them. You can give them all the lessons. You can put them in all the classes, and they will still not get their shit together by 40.
We got proof live right now. At this age, they're supposed to be out building and carrying on, but instead they're naming themselves Big Dick John to come argue with bitches on the internet. All right? No lies are being told here. Those incels over there, the manosphere and all the motherfuckers, that's their age group. And unfortunately, they're also in the next age group as we speak. Ladies, run. Because they're not there for you to, build families and that type of shit. If that's what you want. Don't get it twisted. Divestment is not around building families. It's about putting you first. If you want a family, get a family. If you don't. But if you do, the dude on the right ain't the one to be dealing with. Okay? If you can hold the money that you have on Instagram, you don't have much of it. Okay? If your money fits on camera for an Instagram post, you don't have much of it. Also, these motherfuckers are always high out of their mind. This is around the time that they get arrested a whole lot. This is around the time where they're frustrated because they see other people progressing, including you, because they're, competing with you, and they're very, very violent. When we get up here, the majority of the streams we show y'all is people in this age group fucking people up. This is the most dangerous time. Point blank, period. It's on you, Aaliyah.
To be honest, by the time they reach this age group, the majority of them have already been to prison at this point and done some real time. Because like we were talking about earlier, when they commit those crimes when they're young, I've sat back and I watched how they do that. And because I kept telling one of my exes back when I was in Blackistan, his cousin kept getting into trouble and they would always give him a slap on the wrist and send him back home. And I used to always tell him, I said, he thinks this is a game. He thinks this is a joke because they keep letting him come home. But he just didn't realize that at the time he was underage. So that's what they let you do. I said, see, what they're doing is they're waiting on him to get old enough that they can throw his ass in the adult jail. See, ain't no going to kiddie jail. So they keep slapping, giving him these slaps on the wrist, and that shit is adding up, and they're waiting on him to fuck up and commit a crime as an adult, and they gonna take and bring all that shit back up and put his ass away. And that's exactly what they did. I said, see, they make it too easy. They won't stop doing shit.
They go to juvie and learn how to be a better criminal, though, each time.
That's all they got is time on their hands. They sitting in that cell with two other dudes thinking whether they should fuck them or fight them, and then find a way to get the fuck back in trouble when they get out. Because believe me, they gonna get out unless they doing life. Because people feel sorry for them because they again are oppressed. EC Serwa Lee, are you Dusty? Hello.
Hi. Oh my gosh. How are you? Good
I'm
evening. No, I'm
awesome.
not
How are you?
Dusty.
Okay,
I'm
what you got
sorry.
on the subject matter? And how do you pronounce your name, by the way? That's up
Sorry. No,
here.
that's a fake name. I don't use my real name on the
No,
internet
no,
at
of
all.
course. How do you pronounce this that you're using?
Oh, it's Essie.
SC Sarwa Lee.
Yeah. No, just say Essie. Sorry.
Okay, that's fine. What you got?
Um. Yeah. No, what you're saying is absolutely accurate. So, side note, I'm not from America. I'm from Canada. I'm from the GTA. There's Toronto, and then there's the outer skirts of Toronto called the GTA. So, like places like Scarborough, Vaughan, North York, Mississauga, and Brampton. I'm from one of those places, and
Mm-hmm.
like you said, dustiness is worldwide. This young adulthood, I would say, even like I would say starting at 14, because when I entered high school is when you get into a bigger world, and
Too
I would
old.
say
I say
from
11.
yeah.
11. That's when you
Yes, no,
get.
you're right.
I understand what you're saying. 11 though. That's where I'm coming from.
Don't trust me, because this when I started getting a little bit older, and when you're supposed to start to follow like under this identity of the black community at a certain age, because everyone starts to become aware of themselves and their personalities, I was never fitting into that. And from the outskirts of seeing it, it just made me feel so uncomfortable. And that's how I accidentally entered Blackistan. I've exited it now. It's not for me, but even here in Canada, yeah, it's bad. It's
Yeah,
bad.
we
Toronto,
absolutely know that in Canada that the motherfuckers are dusty. If they black dude, that's dust. Period. There's no need in vetting them. They're dusty. All of
no,
them.
absolutely. It's bad all over. I hate going down into Toronto unless it's like the white areas, like Yorkville or like King Street, like certain areas, because just like the black men that are there, even the little black boys. Oh my god, let me tell you a story. I'm so sorry.
If it's a really long story, I got to cut you off because But
No,
give us the meat
I'm
and potatoes.
Sorry. So it's when I had first moved to Toronto by myself. I was taking the bus at the time. I didn't have a car, and I was waiting for the bus at late because I had missed my stop and I had to take the bus back up. So what had happened was that there was this little boy that came. I kid you not. He was like maybe around 12 or 13 because you know when their voice is still squeaky. He left his friend, came to me, and then started talking about your shape is so nice.
If you're walking away from your microphone, Essie, we can't hear you, dear.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I think it's my headphones. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, we can. Hold on
Yes,
a second for me, Essie. Hold on for me real quick, okay?
no problem.
Now, middle adulthood is 40 to 65, where you're supposed to be enjoying the fruit of your labor, where you're looking back and say, I've been on this job 20 years, considering retirement, checking your balance, seeing what's going on there, see how much your investments accounts have gone up, see how much the real estate has gone up that you purchased already, because at this age you should have purchased something. I don't give a damn if it's a condo. It needs to be something in your name, but that's not what happens in Blackistan. What happens in Blackistan, on the right, we got our boy with the Newports looking out, reflecting on all the dusty shit he's done. How many times have y'all seen that motherfucker? No matter where you from, whether it's Canada, Africa, South America, wherever, that motherfucker is in every city near you. Coming up guilt tripping you about a couple of dollars, sis. Can I get a couple of dollars? Because they tripping. They said that, and they did this, and they won't. How many times have you seen this motherfucker on the right? It might be somebody in your family. Pull up. Pull the fuck up. It doesn't get any better. Point blank, period. And those of you that are in this age group right now, if you're still in Blackistan thinking something's going to change and you sitting there and your face is changing, your body's changing, you don't give a fuck about yourself. You should have figured out by now that ain't no changing in that community. You've seen it all your life and you see it coming up behind you as well. You want to be delusional, right? You want to say everybody else is a self-hater. You want to say you should have hope and all this extra shit. Pray about it. Give it to God. No. Ma'am, it's in your lap and you're going to have to do something about it. Take care of yourself. Quit feeling sorry for homeboy on the right. Quit giving him change. Quit giving him a look. Quit sitting up there marching for him, talking about how the white man did them, talking about we need more schools, we need more of this, we need more jobs. I mean, it sounds like a fucking chant at this point. You bitches are annoying. You need to leave them. Leave. Or you can stay and watch everybody else that got a good head on their shoulders leave. Okay? Shane, it's on you, my dear.
I just want to say this is also the stage where they kind of start waking up and realizing they the old nigga at the club and they too old to be running the streets, so they need to find a caregiver at this point. And this is when they start talking about, well, shoot, I'm ready to settle down now with my 25 kids, no money, and my non-working shit log that probably has
Girl.
about 7 diseases. That's about this day right here.
And he don't have insurance to even get Cialis. Hello. He can't even get the dick fix pills because his ass is fucked up his entire life. This is why, ladies, they tell you that you ain't shit and you should be taking them as they are. Nobody with any self-confidence and any self-worth would take any of these motherfuckers at any of these stages. They won't. You care too much about yourself to get involved with something like this. At least I hope that's the case. Okay? Miss Rogue, are you dusty? Mistress Rogue, I'm sorry.
No, ma'am, I'm not. How you ladies doing?
Awesome. What you got?
Something Aaliyah said earlier made me think about this weekend. I had a back and forth conversation with a mammy in my family, and when I tell you she's a mammy, she's like the Captain America mammies.
Oh wow.
And Aaliyah said something about when she was in Blackistan dating someone along those lines, that they were just watching the kid do things. The mammy I spoke with this weekend, she said the same thing. Oh, they just setting him up. They setting him up all these pitfalls. I was like, well, if you know where the pitfalls are, why the fuck do you keep stepping in them? And she couldn't answer that. And I was like, I don't get why it's so hard for y'all to understand that at some level there must be a measure of personal accountability. And I got cussed out and hung up on. So, and then over the weekend there was a few shootings. I live in a gated community, but these Ninja Turtles on another block, they was tearing it up. There was a fight at the pool. Somebody got shot, and that's like 2 miles down the road. It was a rough weekend.
It's crazy. And then they pose that silly ass question, why y'all always profiling? Because y'all bitches are always doing something. Your sons, listen, if they have any respect for you, they don't act the way they do in these streets in front of you. They don't. So you might want to hear the story on out, because there's a growing group of women that aren't going to be the ones marching out here. They're going to be the ones to pull out their piece. Okay. And they're going to have a little bit of accuracy because ammunition is expensive. How about that part? So I don't want to waste my shit hitting the ground. I want it to go to the target.
The
Okay.
do rag.
Easy.
Yes.
This is also the age when a lot of black men start dropping.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they're dying because they didn't take care of themselves. They didn't care enough to basically have relationships with their children, and they're dying alone in
Oh yeah.
hospital beds.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they didn't take care of that hypertension. The doctors say I need to stay off of salt. You know, that clinic doctor down there. You know, the one that told you if you eat another piece of red velvet cake, he gonna have to cut your fucking foot off. Yes, I understand exactly where you're coming from. I've taken care of a lot of them in my profession. They're non-compliant. They say that the studies are racist. Everything's racist. I want you to remember that everything's racist. When they say black men have the number one case of diabetes, heart failure, that type of shit, they're being racist. It doesn't have anything to do with the pig knuckles and rice and gravy, that type of shit. You know, the 3-4 slices of ham, because he got to get the big piece of fried chicken. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
That just goes to show you when the statistics negatively impact us. Oh, the statistics are accurate then. But when the statistics negatively impact them, oh, that's when everything is racist. They're skewed. It's they haven't, and I'm like, why is it that it could only be true when it applies to us and it's something bad? Because they sure don't mind saying all black 80% of black women are obese, which is not true. Don't get me wrong, we do have an obesity issue, but it's not, you know, I just don't understand. It's like they have no problem with the stats as long as it's something fucked up about us. But then when you bring up the 5.5 hours, that's a lie. Nothing that negatively puts them in a negative light is true.
Aaliyah, that's the thing. It extends. The Black Pakistani community does not hold them accountable, right? So they don't want anybody else to hold them accountable, right? Which means your stats are racist, your
Mm-hmm.
data's racist. There was wrong with the study. Um, Everything's racist. You're racist. DZ is racist. Shane's racist. Everybody's racist.
You don't
Yes,
forget about the Tuskegee experiment. You tell a nigga to go to the doctor, they be like, I don't trust them doctors. Remember Tuskegee? It's like, bastard, you wasn't even born. The fuck you talking about? Hmm? Somebody said, DC, how did you take care of these? Listen, I wouldn't have done it for free. I will tell you that. You wouldn't catch me doing nothing for a nacre for free. As a nurse, listen, the check was right. The check was correct. Ain't no community nursing around this bitch. It ain't gonna happen ever. They can start dropping. I can hear their knees dropping. I'm gonna look at the ceiling and be like, wow, it's these are high vaulted ceilings. I don't give a fuck about them. Girl, if it was no compensation attached, trust me, it wouldn't have happened.
I mean, this is also the age group to where they're just getting out. See, the 18 to 40 years is when they first initially went in, and I guarantee they probably had several stints,
When
not
and
just one.
where?
So yeah, so by the time they reach this age group, they're out now and they are finally looking back over their lives, and then they're seeing they haven't really accomplished anything because they're still living with their mom or their sister or something like that. And then that's when they start to get bitter and angry at the world, and start pretending like everybody owes them something when they
Amen.
reach this age too. And it's like, What did you just do with the last 10 years of your life, motherfucker? You were locked up.
That was the
This
last
is
time he saw a doctor too, because you know they got doctors in prison. Once you get out, you ain't gonna get no refill on that motherfucking lisinopril, nigga.
This is also the age where they are found dead of a heart attack while tricking on Latina prostitutes in a damn room that
Mm,
they don't
mm,
even
mm,
fucking
Don't,
mm,
own.
mm, mm, mm.
don't, don't.
I had to take a drink of the lemonade when she said that because it's true. That's the stage he got caught on top of Omar, baby. Huh?
I plead I plead the fifth here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But to your point, Aaliyah, I think the reason they're so quick to believe everything negative about Black women is that Black women we show and prove every single day with getting educated, with coming up and moving into these upper echelon circles and hierarchies within society, that in spite of everything, it can be done if you have the desire and the drive and the determination and discipline to execute that. But they don't. They just want you to hand them shit. And ain't nobody handing out nothing. I'll hand you a let me hush because I don't want to get kicked off the show.
Yeah, but honey, you got a degree, but your bed is cold. Where your man at though?
Honey, I got something that'll do that in my drawer in 2 minutes, and I ain't got to tell it how much I like it. What the fuck?
Thank you.
That's stupid. Just get you a good toy. I have some
Um,
recommendations.
I hate Dusty. Are you Dusty? Hello. I hate Dusty. Are you there?
I am not Dusty at all.
Wonderful. Wonderful. What you got? I hate Dusty.
I've been dying to get on here with you. Like, I love you. You are so real. And the community needs this so much because at a certain point, I was getting like brainwashed into making my son, teaching him about Black Lives Matter and how he is, the whole ideology, and I think the community in itself is just brainwashed. And once I got out of that, it was it was like another step for me to really see what it is, because at a certain point the community makes them already dusty because they let them do whatever they want to do.
They're born Dusty. You understand what I'm saying?
Good.
Usually they're conceived after some sort of party, after there's been a lot of drinking, some poor decisions are being made, and then that Hennessy laden sperms it just goes up to that so-called yoni area, and then 9 months later we got a goddamn dusty bastard in our face. It is what it is.
I'm just scared because my son is Black and I feel like he's gonna end up being dusty no matter what I do. Like, I ended up getting with a white guy and everything, so I'm teaching him different types. There's a different type of lifestyle, and he still doesn't get it. And I'm just beginning to think that
Well, I
it's
hate
like a
Dusty. I hate Dusty. Listen, do your
it's a lost
job.
cause.
Do your job, and then when you're done, you're done. That's really all it is to it. You can't be worried about whether your son is going to be dusty. You need to live for you after you've done your job raising your kid. Period.
There's no way to like prevent it. Is that he's gonna end
No,
up
if he's dusty, he's going to be dusty. I can promise you that.
like he
There's
already
nothing you
walks.
can do. There is nothing you can do. You can do a good job as a mom, but the way he turns out is going to ultimately be up to him.
Can I just say one more thing? Just to touch base, which when you say it's in their DNA, because my son walks, talks, looks exactly like his father, everything, and he's already showing those signs, like
I'm
already.
sure of it. I'm sure of
Yeah,
it. If I saw your
yeah,
son, I would probably think he was dusty, but it's not your fault.
yeah.
Finish doing what you're doing. Raise him. Make sure you don't get no neglect charges. Try to pour into him what
Mm.
you can because it's your fucking son. But at the end of the day, once he walks across that stage, if he walks across that stage and or turn 18, whichever comes first, that's not it's not going to be anything you can do about it because if he's dusty, he's dusty. Can you change an 18-year-old dusty if he had to move in with you today?
No, it's a done
Absolutely
deal.
not.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Well, thank you so much, and I'm gonna stay tuned. And I love what you're doing, and you're changing lives basically. So thank you.
well,
Have a
thank you
good
for
night.
your support and you have a good night too, baby girl.
Thank you.
So let me go down here to the final stage. And this is my favorite part. God damn it. This is when all the regret sets in. Okay. Do you guys know? This is tough to say. Y'all are familiar with the YouTube scene. Y'all familiar with it. Y'all know what goes on out here. You know the dust, you know the age ranges and all of that. There is a toothless Dusty at this age right here on here beefing with other content creators. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? When they're Dusty, like I was just telling, I hate Dusty, there's nothing you can do about it. Your group of men are literally operating like the fairer sex. Okay? They're helpless, they're oppressed, they're victims. They have to be taken care of. They just fucked up in the game. Usually when elderly people have a YouTube channel, it's about something money based, showing you how to do something easier, how to invest, what cryptocurrency is and how it works and all that good shit. No, in your community, they come up here with their gums in the camera first, talking a bag of shit to black women. These are your people. While everybody else is reflecting and seeing, I did good. I got this, I got that. I'm comfortable. My health is in order. You got your group of men on here still talking the same shit that the motherfuckers in their 20s are talking. This is no lie. This is no lie. There'll never be anything. Like I was telling the women over here earlier on this very live, if you've reached the 40 to 65 age group and you still looking trying to see what's going on with black males, I don't know what to tell you. But once you get here, if they make it here, because a lot of Dusties don't make it to this stage for one reason or another. But if you've made it here and you still taking up for the black community, I ain't gonna say that. You need to knock it off. You need to get ready to lose function. You need to get ready to get a flat where you don't have a whole bunch of stairs and all that shit, because you've wasted your life giving a fuck about black men. So there's that. You can't get that back. Giving a fuck about the black community. So you've wasted your entire life. Ladies, I read an article today that says that the future is bleak for elderly black people, that they are not going to have anyone to take care of them. They're going to die alone. I don't know if y'all saw that. Did you see that?
Yep.
Okay. It's not a game. You better leave while you still have your function, your mind, your youth, you're childless. You're in college. Once you get to a certain stage, you're going to have to accept the fact that you didn't listen and you stayed in this fucked up community.
And that's why the mammies are mad at you.
Period.
That's why they're mad at you. Because here's the thing, the black community, or community, what you guys call it, it is set up to basically destroy itself. So are you going to hang around for the bomb to go off, or are you going to get out of this crap, right?
Yeah. Point blank, period.
They're going to hang around for the bomb to go off. Cause I can answer that.
You're killing me. You hurt my feelings, Aaliyah. You're killing me. That was a shot. That was a shot in my heart.
They are gonna go down with this ship. I promise you. I'm telling you, if they ain't dedicated to, they dedicating to self-destruction. I promise you.
Yes, they are. And it is destroyed. Believe me. And it's going to get a lot worse. Because, somebody like me won't see it as fast as the pediatrics chapters or wings of hospitals, but we're seeing it. A lot of these kids are being born with deficits, neurological deficits, mental health problems are taking them out too.
A lot of times they don't know that they had a baby by their first cousin, because the Dusties are fucking everybody and not telling who kid is who. If you live in a small town, God help you. Because these dudes got kids with so many different women that they're going to go to school with a relative and not know that that's their relative.
Yes. And I was thinking the same thing about they got to have those 33 kids. I'm like, what? See, this that kind of bullshit. And it's like, they act like they be surprised that these kids are growing up and they're getting with their cousins and shit like that and not knowing it. because that's all y'all been doing, just recklessly spreading your seeds and your eggs and loaning out your wombs. And it's just people are getting tired of this fuck shit. Like
Soul
it's
Girl
just
said,
stupid.
Aaliyah.
Soul Girl said, hold on one second, Ebony. Soul Girl said they aren't violent at this stage, just annoying. I beg to differ, sis.
Mm-mm.
If you open up another tab and Google Florida man kills co-resident in nursing home, you'll have a blast. You'll have a
Yes.
blast.
They have to
I'm,
throw some
I'm,
of them out of the nursing homes because they sexually assault people.
Hmm.
I think what I've seen at this age the most is this is the age where they start trying to track down those daughters and shit that they really didn't have anything to do with, and it's because they need a nurse to
Yes.
someone to
Yes.
take care of them.
Yep.
And it's like you didn't have anything to do with this woman. I've actually seen these men. It's like you were never her father. You never did anything for her. But now that she's grown and you are sick at this age, because a lot of them are sick, now you're looking for somebody to take care of you. So you're gonna go track down their long lost daughter that you never
Hmm.
even helped raise. You never even sent her a birthday card.
They
The
turn into
My,
the FBI at that point. They really do.
the sad part
They
is when you talk about them looking for their long lost daughter, a lot of black women are so male identified and so many daddy issues exist. Even though he didn't help her, they'll feel the need to do that because that's her daddy. Girl, don't do it. You don't owe him shit.
Nope. Nope.
don't I know my cousin dad died right in her house, and I said, "You're a better woman than I'll ever be." That's all I
Telling
had
you.
to just tell her. You're better than me, because I could never.
Mm-mm. So y'all, here it is. Here it is. So once you kick that bucket, once the bucket is kicked, once it's time to go and lay it down for the final time, other groups are surrounded by their past. Ironically, black men's past is usually so fucked up that there's nobody there. You're talking to somebody that worked hospice before. The ones that are in there alone in their last stage of life are black men. So I don't know why they tell you until you're gonna die alone. You're gonna die alone. The fact of the matter is they're dying alone right now. They don't have anybody come to see them. Every now and then they'll have a female, of course, family member come see them, and it's few and far between. And she coming up on some guilt shit. But I'm telling you, black males, when they make it to a ripe old age, they're shitting on themselves, right? They're always on the call light. They're always trying to find a reason for somebody, anybody to come in and talk to them. You could square them away. They're out of pain. They're clean. They got their drink next to them. The TV's on, and they still call because they're lonely as fuck. Lonely. Don't you find yourself being that person that's going to come in here and do it for him. They don't deserve that. Remember, there's a popular person on this very apparatus we call YouTube that said that black women should die in their own excrement. Remember that? You remember that and go ahead and do you. People that now the guy on the top up here, he would have been doing what they call simping out here, right? Because he got his wife, his daughter, and grandbaby around. That's what simps end up getting. That it just is what it is. So you let these motherfuckers tell you that you simping and you out here shitting on yourself. And I think it's bloody hilarious. I think it's some of the funniest shit I ever seen. Y'all don't make me play that black man crying. Don't do that shit. Don't make me do that. Oh, fuck it. You asked for it. I got some people trying to come up, but I got to put the end stage of life up here. Hold on.
But this is when you
Come here. Come here. What are you upset about? Tina, come here. What's he upset about?
I don't know.
Huh?
I don't know.
You don't know? What you upset about?
He got mad at me this morning. Got no television. He got mad at me all the time. I got tired of it.
Y'all got into it over some cigarettes?
Yeah, no cigarette. He got no My kid cut me all the time.
Don't you fuck with me. I think this shit is hilarious. They don't give a fuck about you. They never have, never will. Okay? Do you? I always take issue for some odd reason when these stupid motherfuckers be saying, yeah, okay, well, you gonna die alone. When I know for a fact that they are the ones dying alone. Period.
That whole die alone spiel is just to force women into lowering their standards to go for somebody that they know is not a good fit for them. So they just, it's more of that, let me gaslight you. Let me, it's like reverse psychology. Let me tell you, you're the one that's going to die alone. And it's not really me asking you to accept somebody who is really beneath you. That's really what it is. So if you don't learn to lower your standards, then you're just going to die alone. And it's like, no, what I want is reasonable. I'm asking for somebody to bring to the table the same thing I have or more, because that's really what a lot of the women that he was talking to was talking to him about, like, look, this is what I have. And then he just tell them, look, you average at best. You built this way. You built, and it's like, you just trying to break these women down no matter how accomplished they are. And what it is let me do this reverse psychology bullshit so you'll go ahead and just pick something. And it's like, no.
Creative Solutions, are you Dusty?
No, I'm not Dusty.
All right, what you got, Creative Solutions, and welcome to the panel.
Welcome, you guys. I've been a fan of your show. So this is what I got. So I have a best friend. She's Jamaican, and she filed for her dad to come up to the States. And as of
Here
right
we go.
now,
Here we
huh?
go.
Yeah, as
Here
of right
we
now,
go.
her dad lives with her, and it's like her dad only contributes like 1/3 of the rent, and now she has 2 kids, and now they just raised her rent, and now he lost his job, so now
Creative
she
Solutions, let me ask you this. I
uh
hear what you're saying, right? Now, if your friend, your Jamaican friend, was divested and was putting herself first, would she let that motherfucker come stay with her?
no, I'll be trying to tell her he's a grown ass man. He's in his 50s and he got girlfriends. Why he can't go live with them?
They keep doing this, y'all, because y'all let them do it. Y'all let them do it. She could have simply told him no. See, when the story get told, right, it's always what, he's doing. But here's the deal. That's her house. Can't nobody stay there if she don't let them stay there. Y'all got to learn how to tell these people no and not feel so guilty about it. What are you guilty for? Your 50-year-old daddy fucking in your house while you at work? Are you shitting me? Are you serious? And the only thing you can say in retort is that's my daddy? Really? No, we not going. Anyway, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead. I get so tired of that shit.
Yeah, so I'm trying to tell her because she's pregnant and she already has a daughter that's 3, and they just raised the rent and he's not helping out her, because she's about to give birth, so she's gonna be out of work. So she's at the point where she doesn't know what she's going to do, and he can't even help her, like, with the rent. And she's talking about she might have to move, and if she move, he has to come with her. And I'm like, that makes no sense. I'm like, what if you have to go to a shelter? Like, what is he gonna do? I feel like he's just a leech that's just there, and he's just
Absolutely.
sucking her dry. And she's young. She's like 32. Why she has to take on that responsibility?
She doesn't have to. That's the whole point. She doesn't have to. She could have put his ass out a long time ago. See, with a lot of black women, they want black men to like stop doing what they're doing and be better people. She wants her father to be a better person. She won't accept him for who he is, and that's just how it is around here in Blackistan. Dead serious. She didn't have to take care of him, and she didn't want to. He can't force himself to live there. And if he's been there longer than 30 days and he's getting mail there, she's going to have to evict him. If she's not willing to evict him, then she ain't tired of him.
Sounds like she's dealing with at least 2 Dusties, her dusty ass daddy, and whoever the fuck got her pregnant. Because Why the fuck he ain't paying the goddamn rent? Why she stressing about bills if she's pregnant with his fucking damn baby?
Everybody's using her. Everybody. And then when
That's
she
true.
calls you, she's dumping that emotional load on you when she can simply knock this shit off. I told y'all a long time ago, black women could have changed the scene a long time ago. It's just the majority of black women don't want to. And then you got a group of black women that claim they want the scene to be changed, but they don't because they keep engaging in shit like letting a 50-year-old daddy stay in their house and not pay the bills and giving Dusty's babies. It just is what it is. Y'all, get your heart off your sleeve. Please and thank you. Where you been at, Miss Jean?
Mhm.
Hello, Miss Jean, you're on.
Hello, how you doing, honey?
I'm good. Turn your YouTube
Hey,
off in the
Miss
back.
Jean.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, turn your
Hi.
YouTube off in the back.
How you doing? I got it. Everything okay?
Everything's amazing.
Good, good, good. Girl, how y'all doing?
We're
Good.
amazing. What you
Good.
Okay.
subject? Where
Girl,
to go?
where in the world did you find that crying Negro video?
Girl, they all over the place. That's all niggas do is cry. Cry
I
about
know,
what you wearing. Cry about
but
your hair.
that
Cry about
was
what they
on, he
ain't got.
got no squiggle wets.
Mm-hmm.
No, but see, these black guys, now the man on top to the left, he got his family around here.
Yep.
Dude on the bottom right ain't got nobody but air.
He looks scared straight. That's how they be looking too. I
Yeah,
swear to
yeah,
God, y'all.
but they said that you know, hello girls, how y'all doing? Um, but they the ones said that we black women should be drowned in our own excrement, and I bet he's laying in his.
They always laying in it. I swear.
Uh,
What is wrong with black men? Why are they always shitting all the way up to their navel? What's going on? What the fuck is going on? Anytime it's time to get them changed up, they got
okay,
shit going all up the back and the
Now
front,
you know
and
you
it
are not
smells
right.
and it smells terrible. That shit is enough to arch your eyebrows. Them niggas be funky as hell.
I
They
know.
probably do it on purpose.
Be cholera or something, because you know cholera, you know everything comes out at both ends.
Mm,
That's what major symptoms of cholera could be a
Y'all
side
are not right.
because they got so damn many diseases.
they do. I don't know
I
what's going on
know
with the
that's
mic, Miss
something.
Jean. I'm gonna
Mm-mm.
put you on mute for a little bit, okay?
Oh yeah. Okay. Put me up. Let me
Yeah.
listen.
Okay, that's what's up. Y'all, I shit you not, and no pun intended. I don't know where all that shit comes from, but the niggas that be in hospice, it's almost like they be having on a shit skirt when you pull back the damn
Uh-huh.
blanket. And you have to, you got to help out the aides and the techs and everybody because a lot of them they can't move their bodies on their own like they used to be able to. Like when they was making the motherfucking babies back in the day, they can't move like that anymore. So it's literally dead weight until that bell start going off. I swear to you, I don't know what it is, but y'all, it's not your responsibility to have to deal with that shit. I
I
see a
mean,
lot of black women sitting up here all upset, all depressed. I know a lady that's just started taking goddamn antidepressants because she's in the sandwich generation where she's taking care of a child that is special needs and her dad is also fucked up. I had to quit taking her phone calls because that's all she wanted to do was vent about that instead of changing the situation. And he didn't raise her. He didn't. Go ahead,
Right.
Aaliyah. You were trying to say something. My bad. I'm running my mouth.
oh no, I was just I forgot what I was about to say because I said I'm just thinking this is the case. You just stated the case for why I could never be a CNA, LPN, RN. I could not be. I didn't want anything to do with nursing. I have a lot of respect for nurses. I tell anybody it's not easy. It's not for the faint of heart. It's not for people with weak stomachs. I could not go in there. I know exactly what you're talking about. I couldn't do it. No.
Yeah, people wonder why nursing homes smell the way they do, and unfortunately, that's what it is. Okay, I wanted to show y'all something. Aaliyah,
Can
take
I
the
say
floor.
something real quick about that
Absolutely,
though?
absolutely.
Listen, in my opinion, I think they do that stuff on purpose. they have to be annoying and troublesome up until the damn day they die. So they shit on themselves to make your day worse because like they can't do nothing else. They're like, I'm gonna fuck with somebody till I die because I'm a miserable old fucking bastard.
You know, I can't take it from you because they be so fucking mean and angry. They be so goddamn mean and angry. We was y'all, we was talking about the stages, y'all. And I know y'all see to the right what I got queued up. That says 10-year-old caught robbing people with fake gun. 14-year-old that is accused of R-wording and robbing other folks. Now listen, mammies, I done told you. Stay your monkey ass about my chat with that they just kids shit. Okay, let's look at the school year real quick.
The brazen crime thwarted by a security guard. He says a 10-year-old boy tried to rob women in his apartment complex.
Do y'all think that's a mistake that he was just trying to rob women? Let me see if this thing is on. They don't like you, and it's dust from the day that they're born into the day they shit on themselves and slip in that fucking grave. They don't like you. This 10-year-old boy was able to pick out women. He knew that you was an easy target at 10. Talking about their kids. Come on.
At gunpoint. It happened late last week, and the man told Fox 5's Eric Perry something has to be done.
The man calls violent crimes involving youth honestly ridiculous nowadays. He says he asked the 10-year-old why he was doing it, and he says the 10-year-old responded because it was fun.
It took place around 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, meaning that he should have been in school.
This man who didn't want to show his face works security for this apartment complex off Fairburn Road in Atlanta. He says Thursday morning, residents came running into the leasing office with disturbing claims.
One of the female resident, 65 give or take, ran.
Did you hear how he's talking? One of the resident, 65. That's that speech part I was telling y'all about. This is a grown ass man, and he sound like he got a mouthful of marbles. What the fuck? It ain't got shit to do with you being from the South. You grown as hell. And he probably got warrants. That's why he don't want his face shown. But let's keep going.
Ran over to the office and say, hey, the guy behind the building, he just chased me with a gun trying to rob me.
They confronted who they thought was a teen, but turned out to be a 10-year-old boy. They ordered him to drop the gun, or what he thought was a gun.
It looked like a real gun that was a 38 or a 357. But it kind of find out after we did a further investigation, it was actually an airsoft the gun that he painted in place, tape on the handle where you couldn't identify that it was a fake gun.
Take a look at the makeshift gun. The man says it's hard to tell if it was fake or real.
It's easy to take a person life, meaning anybody can squeeze a trigger and kill someone. The thing is, it's harder to save a person's life, meaning that you have to go a lot of different ways to make sure that, hey, this person understand what they got.
This man says more needs to be done to help steer the youth in the right direction.
I asked him, did he know the consequences of what he was doing? And he honestly said no, he was just having fun.
He took up for that child that was robbing people at what they thought was gunpoint. Do you see how it's never going to change and that you have to leave? He wanted attention for basically guiding that youth and then basically said, well, he didn't know what he was doing. What did we just say up here? They're never held accountable for anything that they do. And as long as this continues to go on, you guys are in danger, especially if you are in Blackistan. If you've left Blackistan, you need to stay your ass away from it and steer clear of these motherfuckers. This non-talking piece of shit nigga sat there and this video was what? 2 minutes long. He did not say, yeah, something needs to be done. Y'all need to take him away. I don't know where he learned this, but he need to be reprogrammed, whatever. He said, well, he didn't know what he was doing. I can't with Blackistan. I can't do it. These y'all people, but they just kids though. Right? Oh, that wasn't bad enough. Let's go.
And now an update on the story that we brought you last week. A Mastic Beach mother sexually assaulted in a home invasion. And tonight investigators tell CBS 2's Jennifer MacLeod that they have made a shocking arrest. The alleged rapist in this case, just 14 years old.
Oops.
The 23-year-old mother released from the hospital has moved from the Mastic Beach home where she was strangled, stabbed, robbed, and brutally raped 2 weeks ago.
This is a case that is both shocking and extremely disturbing.
Police say the video they distributed of the perpetrator.
Now, they're walking down the street. If somebody was in one of those houses, came outside and said, hey, where are y'all going? Where do you live? What's going on out here? They would have got chopped the fuck up for profiling. Even though those two are on their way to ruin someone's life. Come on, y'all.
Perpetrators led to tips and eventually a DNA profile that matched the violent rape scene. The suspect, a 14-year-old youth.
Upsetting given the age of the offender as well as the underlying facts of the case.
Horrified neighbors helped the young woman as she ran naked from her home, clutching her 4-year-old. The two suspects had fled.
She walked over, holding the daughter's hand. I thought they were playing until I realized the woman, I was wondering what she had on. It turned out she was bleeding from her head, bad. Like her whole body was covered with blood.
The victim and her child had been trapped upstairs.
The victim heard noises downstairs, but she assumed it was her husband who had come home early from work.
They quickly locked themselves in an upstairs bedroom. The suspects broke down the door.
The defendant, who was armed with a knife, began to rape the victim in front of her daughter.
Then stabbed and slashed her.
Once I was informed about this heinous act, I wanted to make sure that I have the best investigators handling this case.
They made an arrest within 24 hours. The accomplice of the alleged rapist remains at large. Sources say they know who they are looking for.
I just hope they get whoever doing it, you know? It's not a good thing.
One on the loose and nobody's talking. Somebody knows something. And that person, who's ever it is that's hiding them, I'm sorry, they should be convicted of it as well.
It's his mammy. Believe me, it's his motherfucking mama who's doing this shit. Okay? He's still on the loose, by the way. Anybody that lives up north around Suffolk County, you might want to watch your goddamn self. 14 years old. 14. Now, y'all remember that one case where the sergeant, he lost his, his pension and all that shit for asking homeboy, what are you doing in this community? And he, wasn't getting the proper answers, and he had been harassing women out there. And he pushed him, lost everything. Everybody stands to lose something when mammies have these little motherfuckers. Because a lot of people ask, well, if you left, if you divested, why you give a fuck what's going on? That neighborhood that y'all just saw, that was not a black neighborhood. You saw Asians and white folk. Okay? So even if you leave, there's still a chance that you end up dealing with Blackistani bullshit. At 14 years old, how do you know how to complete a sexual assault? How is that even possible? How is that possible? Now, mammies, you stay in my comment section with this bullshit, right? I'm going to provide the link, and I want you to come up here and tell me why the fuck you keep trying to protect wayward youth like this, especially when they're committing adult crimes. Huh? Let me know something. There's your fucking link. Pull up if need be. Because you always talking when I'm not there. I'm not sitting in my comment section when we get off of here. I'm not there. So whenever you get to go unanswered, you say stupid shit like this. We just went from conception to death, and there's not a stage in their life where they're not dangerous. Okay? Aaliyah's on you.
Well, I mean, that just goes back to what I was saying earlier. He's 14 years old. He's already pulling home invasions and already taking stuff from women that was not offered to him. I mean, it just gets more and more sick and sad. I mean, sometimes it's one of those situations where you just led to keep from crying because nothing is funny about this. It's not cute. And then as soon as you say, well, you say his mama is hiding him, and it's like, I'm sorry, at some point, somebody gonna have to take responsibility for this. If they don't want him to take responsibility for it, then what the law is getting, people are getting tired. I'm sorry, that just goes back to what I was saying earlier. People can say it's not fair to blame their parents. I'm sorry, but this is where we're headed. This is where we're headed because they won't stop birthing them. They don't want anybody to say anything to them as far as checking them. If you do, it's racist. Like you said, if anybody they can't even police their own neighborhoods because if you say something to them, you may wake up to an entire lynch mob that has
Yes.
swarmed your house. I mean, it's just we are fucking ridiculous. This is the shit that they do. They go to those people's houses. This is the one time black people will get together to show their asses again when they're going to somebody's house. They all went to that man's house and showed their ass. And thanks to them, that man lost everything for trying to protect his neighborhood. So not only couldn't the police not say anything to him, regular pedestrians or Samaritans or whoever, they can't say anything to them. Nobody can say anything to them without there being a consequence for it. And it's like, what the fuck do y'all want people to do? I'm sorry. People getting tired of y'all and y'all sons. What the fuck?
Man, listen, between that and the people that's taking up for them, there's really nothing that can be done. All you have to do is get strapped, keep your head on a swivel. Whenever you're out, don't look down at your phone like absent-mindedly. Lift your head up a little bit so you can see what's happening in your peripheral vision because they are getting younger and younger and younger every single goddamn day. And with the people that's taking up for them, mainly black women, it's turning into them seeing you as the problem. And that's the part that
Exactly.
scares me. That's the part
Exactly.
that scares me. I don't want to be seen as the problem. That's why I will not take up for bullshit like this. Okay.
And the sad part about it is if when they catch his accomplice, if he's only 14, if somebody somewhere with a camera out and they snatch him up too hard, it's
Yes.
gonna be a whole nother riot. It's gonna be a whole bunch of bullshit. Well, he didn't have to do him like that. If he was white, he wouldn't have did all that. And it's like, see, this is what the fuck I'm talking about. Shit like that.
It's only okay in the black neighborhood when the black men are comfortable. Sis, you're not a black man. You're not. You will be sacrificed for the comfortability of black males. It just is what it is. I know that if you're newly divested, it's really sad to say, but you have to know the truth. You have to. They out here blaming girls for how they dress, for being sexually assaulted. What did they say? What time they were out? There will be so many excuses made for the boy, man, whatever he is at the time, to not have to pay for what the fuck's going on in that community. I just need y'all to stay safe. Welcome to the panel, Aries lady.
Hello, DZ. Hello, ladies. How's everybody doing tonight?
Awesome. How are you?
I'm good. I actually am going to say this. I'm happy that they're making the parents take responsibility for whatever their kids do. And this is coming from a woman with two sons. And the reason why I say that is because I have a dog. If my dog goes out there and bites somebody, guess who's responsible?
Fact.
Me. And I can be sued if my dog bites somebody. Same thing. You have one of these apes running around.
You couldn't even catch it.
I tried.
I know you tried. I know you tried, baby.
You have one of these people running around. And yes, 14, that you can make the excuse that they're young. No, you can't. Killers come very young.
They do.
Okay. And particularly that community in Long Island, it's a diverse community, but I know that you have to travel a bit to get to certain places. So for him to do that and you do it in front of her child, he know what he's doing. He's well aware. And yes, the parents should be held responsible. I'm so sorry if you have a thun and you feel differently.
They better fight for the fact that they need these people, these kids, to pay for what they do. Because I'm going to tell you like this. You can't have it both ways. Now, you'll have a 14-year-old ashy, dusty, naked, whatever. And if he's giving his opinion about something, mammies will say, well, they have feelings too. He has feelings too. He has a point of view too. Listen to what he's saying. You should listen because they're human. You can listen to them. But when they do something wrong, you don't want them to pay. They don't get to have input and be taken as young adults, right? And then turn around and go into infant mode when he do something wrong. This is why nobody takes Black people seriously, because your story changes from day to day, person to person. All it takes is a 15-year-old boy to do something versus a 15-year-old girl. I forget that girl's name. I forget her name. I think her name was Ma'Khia Bryant. They wanted her to pay. They wanted her to pay, even though she was out there fighting grown-ass women. Right? The story and the narrative, what they want changes every time you turn around. Again, the not all narrative with, hey, Dusties are broke. If you just something like that, Dusties are broke. Well, not all of them are broke, but as soon as some lawmakers come around, you start talking about how y'all the lowest paid and y'all oppressed and y'all don't have as much as other people. Which is it? It doesn't matter. One day you saying one thing, the next day you saying something else, and nobody believes you. So the best thing that you can do is start being real with your goddamn self and backing off that community. Period. Y'all, I can't.
You know they like to move the goalposts. It's never going to be this. It's never going to be one logical set thing. They're going to always say they're too young. You can't hold them responsible. You can't do this. You can't do that. No, you can. You can be held accountable. They sure let Black women know they're accountable for everything that's wrong in Blackistan.
And it doesn't matter how old she is. She could be 7, 8, 9 years old. They didn't even do nothing. I can't remember that 7-year-old girl that got shot on that couch in Chicago. I think it was Chicago. But they started blaming her family because of where she was sleeping. Y'all, where the 7-year-old girl was sleeping was a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Everything but the shooter.
Yeah.
Everything but the problem, the 8. Everything else.
Girl.
Jesus. I'm gonna go back down. Thank you, DZ. Have a good night, everybody.
You too, Shane. Thank you for coming. Not Shane, Aries lady. Thank you for coming up. I'm sitting up here looking at Shane's name. Now, y'all notice, right? I made the link available, but when I cut this live off, the mammies are gonna be all in my comment section. I got moderators that's constantly sending me stuff, some problematic shit that's being said, but when it's time to go ahead and make your point, your scary ass stay down there, and it's probably for the best. It's probably for the best because there's no way that you can justify this bullshit. It's the entitlement for me on top of that. When I say entitlement, y'all, I need y'all to see one more thing before I start dragging again. Okay, let me go up a little bit, see what the fuck I had up here queued up for y'all. Because even when they don't own shit, they just think they can walk up and take it. That includes you, Black woman. They want you, you need to walk with them when they ask for you to come. Watch this shit, y'all.
Scary scene that you'll only see on Local 10 News. The Fort Lauderdale family watching in fear as a man tried to break into their home. And Local 10's Christian De La Rosa is live now with what the video shows for us tonight. Christian.
Calvin, it happened right here in the Poinsettia Heights neighborhood. It is scary and it is bizarre.
This is my house.
He is a total.
Aaliyah, did you hear that? Chat room, did you hear that? He's on somebody's Ring doorbell camera saying, this is my house. This is my house. Why? Because they give them everything. Nothing can be denied to them. This motherfucker walked up and said, this is my house. I'm going to do something if y'all don't get up out my house. By the way, if you're confused, he does not live there and these people do not know him.
Little stranger walking up to this Fort Lauderdale home that doesn't belong to him and threatening to break in.
You have 5 minutes until I start doing something.
You have 5 minutes until I start doing something. Mammies, don't y'all get upset when the cops be like, hey, you got 2 seconds to put that gun down or we're going to start shooting. Y'all do the same shit. It's funny how the stuff that y'all don't like, y'all do the same goddamn thing. Where is the police, number one? Number two, who the fuck do y'all think y'all are? Your son's out here saying that this is my house, right? I bought you dinner. You supposed to come to bed with me. Y'all remember that shit too. Well, you can walk home. I can't, y'all.
Now the intruder in my house.
He is also heard speaking to the voice automated assistant on his smartphone, asking for an opinion on what he should do next.
I have lots of opinions on things like music, movies,
The couple inside is heard begging the man to leave, but he refuses. And instead, he is seen moving trash cans in an apparent attempt to barricade the family inside. As he continues to claim this is his house, he even breaks entry into the home's backyard. The residents inside, witnessing this scary and bizarre encounter, called police, who responded and located the man, but did not make an arrest.
Did you hear that? He barricaded somebody in their house, made entry into the house, which is breaking and entering, and there was not an arrest made. And it's on camera. If you think you're safe in Blackistan, you can kiss me all over. You're not. They're not even attempting to arrest these fuckers no more. It has to be something that's completely felonious. So little shit like barricading you in your house, oh, that doesn't get arrest, right? And they claim the Florida police is racist. This is down in Fort Lauderdale. This is your community. Y'all, you can't make this shit up. Naker Whisperer, are you Dusty?
No, I'm not Dusty. Hi.
Hi, how are you? What you got, baby?
Great. Okay. I'm just so happy to like listen to women who, because I hanging around, I guess now that I open my eyes, so many mammies, I'm like, oh my God, when I talk, they always tell me, oh, you're mean, you're rude. You know, I'm a bad wench. They say everything. And I wanted to say, like, even with one of my friends I had stopped talking to, she literally has a child already, which is a girl. Thank God for that. But she stays in Indiana. Well, I'm in Chicago. And she makes $10 an hour. And she says all the time how she wants a son. She wants another child and a son. And I'm like, bitch, you want to have another kid and be another single mother. And then constantly, you want on top of that, you want to raise a boy. You want to have another child. And it's like all my friends just ridicule me for not having kids or not wanting to be a part of, I guess, Blackistan.
That's their ticket to victimhood. That's why they be asking for these sons. You see what I just played up here. They
Don't
don't even
fall for
arrest
that
these
shit.
motherfuckers. Yeah, don't nobody got time for it. You know, and people like that, Naker Whisperer, you need to get them out your life. I don't have any more mammies, especially ones that's not related to me in my life, because they are fucking slow.
Let me tell you, as a child-free woman, I would not trade my peace and quiet for any of for any of that shit. I love my peace and quiet. I love my sanity.
Exactly.
I love keeping my money to myself. All of it, everything. And I'm sorry if that may sound selfish just of somebody else, but I know what I can handle and I just can't do it. Like every woman I know who has kids, like they're literally screaming at their children all day, every day. And I'm like, girl, I don't see how you do it. I tell my sister all the time, I wouldn't have any hair in my head. They fight all the time. It's just nonstop noise, nonstop asking for stuff, nonstop mama, look. No, that's why I say if that's not what you want, do not fall for that shit. Okay. You can go where you want to go. You don't have to worry about babysitters. You don't have to worry about any of that shit. So when I want to pick up and move, it's just me. You see what I'm saying? And so if that's not what you want, don't let anybody try to shame you into something different. It's because they want you to be in the same boat that they're in. And it's like, no, thank you, sis. You can have that shit over there. No. Exactly. And I always say that, like, I don't want that. I've never, even when I was in Blackistan, I never ever wanted a child by a black man. I just knew I didn't. And I just don't want it, period. Because they can make it seem like, and I'm like, I think for like a lot of black women, not all, but it's like to have a kid, like I feel like with her, it's something that I guess can love you unconditional because that nigga left. He old, and I guess she
don't
thought
love you unconditionally. Sometimes that when they say that shit, what about the folks that's killing their mama? That shit matricide has gone up in the black community. So I don't know what they're talking about.
And this is how I knew like she was a mammy. Like one day I was at home and I was letting her listen to like you, and it was like another girl that I really love. Like I always moderate on her channel, and she listens to you too. And so she walked out of the room. I said, yeah, that bitch is a mammy.
You know what I'm saying? Like she couldn't even hear what y'all was saying. Like you see this stuff every day. You see them killing you, but yet and still, you still want to be with a black man. You're still a single mother. Like you're over there, you're struggling. You can literally buy no furniture in your house. I'm like, you can't even buy furniture in your house, but you are willing to pop out another child and a male at that by another black guy. Like, are you kidding me? But you think
Make
I'm
no
gonna have
mistake about it. Go ahead.
yeah, and I'm like, it's so crazy because I guess she feel like because like when I listened to y'all last broadcast when y'all was talking about things to do like don't wear makeup and this and that. But I guess she felt like because she don't wear makeup, she would get a better treatment because the guy who she got pregnant by, she's like, oh well, he don't take care of his first kids. And I'm like, what makes you thought you was different because you say you're natural? I said, what makes you thought that he was gonna come take care of your baby because bitch, you were any better? I said, you're not. You still got the same treatment. She's like 27. He's old enough to be like, he's like in his 50s or 60s. And I'm
Oh
like, are you
Lord.
kidding me?
He
I'm like,
15 years from shitting on his damn self.
exactly. And I'm like, she literally, when I would listen to her talk, I would be nudging my friend and I'm like, listen to her. She would talk about how she was basically taking care of him. And I'm like, you are that fucking stuck male identified to where you're taking care of a man old enough to be your grandfather and he's doing nothing for you. Nothing. Like she literally has to get help from her grandmother and everybody just to watch her one child she has now. And I'm like,
And
but
make
you
no
want another?
And that's what I was finna say. And make no mistake about it, baby. She gonna have that second one. She already done let y'all know what her plan is.
Mm-hmm.
She is gonna have that
Oh,
second
she
one on the way.
determined. Like
Making
she's
$10 an hour. No.
10. That's not even minimum wage in Chicago.
See, but
Well, in
look though,
Illinois.
Nigger Whisperer. It's society. She knows she's gonna have entitlement programs to fall on. Child care assistance, healthcare assistance,
Exactly.
food stamps,
Oh,
sex
so
if
many
she wanted
stories I
sex
could tell
ed.
y'all.
She could literally, if these programs went away, black women would have to stop having these kids by these nakers because the nakers are not going to step up. If anybody think a naker is going to step up to take care of their kids, I got a bridge in Brooklyn to sell you and a couple of tacos for Taco Tuesday tonight. How about that part? Okay, I don't know what's
Exactly.
going on. They $10 an hour, really?
10. When she told me that, I was like, are you kidding me? I was like, so what are you going to do with another child? You make $10 an hour. And then here's the killer. She told me she didn't want to work anymore. She wanted to be an at-home mom. I said, what nigga going to put you in that position? Who going to put you in that
It's
position?
the state to put her in that position when she applied for everything because a nigga can't put
Exactly.
you in stay at home. A nigga can't make you a stay at home wife unless he break your damn legs, and then then you'll be able to stay home. But if your wheelchair work, he gonna want you to get a sit down job. You 50-50 ass bitches. What?
Exactly. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, I
And
can't. The things that they say out their mouth when I talk to them, I just, I just had to just like stop talking to everybody. Like, y'all, the channels that I listen to on YouTube are my friends because it's like I can't relate to them when I listen to them talk. Like, bitch, I can't relate to anything you're saying. Nothing. I don't sympathize with black men. I can't relate to them. I'm not male identified. I don't care. I'm like, just talking to him. I had just told one of my other friends, like, and we just don't talk. I'm like, girl, go seek therapy. Cause she like, well, I'm like, why don't you just stop having sex? I can't stop having sex. I'm like, yeah, you
That
can.
part. That part.
I'm like, you
That's the
can.
part that gets to me so bad. What do you mean you can't stop? What they really mean is they can't stop fucking black men. That's what
Mm-hmm.
it means. And I heard on another channel, that's not realistic to tell black women to stop
Oh,
fucking black men.
but I
It's
exactly know exactly what
absolutely
channel.
it's absolutely not ridiculous. Are you kidding me? Between the STD rate, single motherhood, domestic violence, you mean to tell me none of that matters? Just getting some of that shit log is where it's at. It's not reasonable. Well, when you guys get your jaw broke, don't fucking call me. I don't have time for that shit. Not with all this information out here. It's 150 some videos over here alone. And you got other divested channels that let you know, listen, don't do it. Don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And your girlfriend that's getting ready to have that baby, because she's like Aaliyah said, she's gonna have that baby. Don't
Yeah,
find
she is.
yourself
She want a
babysitting
man,
for
a
that girl.
boy. She wants that boy.
Don't find yourself babysitting for that girl.
I don't look, that's why I think I don't have friends. I don't do anything. I tell them all the time, baby, I'm single. I do what I want to do. I don't have kids or anything. I don't babysit children. I'm not in love with your children. I don't care. I would say F them kids in a heartbeat to them. I don't play that. I'm not the daddy. You should, you bitch. Look at who you laid up with.
Yep. Somebody in the chat
No.
said, "How do
And the
you get?"
thing part about it is they get mad at you like that's your responsibility. It's like you better call
Hmm.
your baby daddy. Where the fuck he at?
No,
Mm-hmm.
she mad at you for not being there. Him, he can come in and get pussy whenever he want, but
Yeah,
you need to act like the stepdaddy. I'm not even finna be your kid godmother because I don't like dusty ass niggas, and I don't want to be the step or what do you call it, godmom to
the
a dusty
godmother.
nigga's
Mm-hmm.
motherfucking baby. I'm not doing it. We've been doing that shit for so long. Oh, all kids are a blessing. All they're not. They're absolutely not. Sometimes when people have kids, it destroys their life.
And they don't want
Okay.
to say that because they don't want to tell the truth. It
Mm.
does. It does because I would see her how she would be off of Facebook with her daughter. Her daughter would be in one room and she would be completely in the other. Girl, you can't do nothing. And it's
No,
destroying you. It's eating away at your ass. And you want another one.
you
Yes,
told
I
her
mean,
everything you could tell her. I wouldn't tell her shit else. I
I don't
promise
say
you.
anything. I can send you guys screenshots. Like she literally would message me and be like, "So you just don't talk to me no more." And I would say absolutely nothing. And when I seen her like the other day, she shared a status and was like, "It's a status all the women sharing," and it's like I pray for him. He just don't know when he leave the house. I'm like, oh my god, they are just mammies. You got to be kidding me.
That shit is funny. I pray for him.
Yeah, I pray
Girl,
for him.
bye.
When he leave the house, I'm praying he makes it safe. It's just a just ugh.
I
It's
told
cringy.
y'all Jesus got these mammies on block. Either that or he's
Mhm.
leaving you on red because your prayers ain't being answered, sis. These niggas hate you more than ever. They was issuing you death threats because a kitten died and you didn't mourn for him. Okay?
Like,
You are a gold digger, remember? Even though you're just asking for the light bill to be paid. That's gold to them. Do you know how low those standards are? We're talking electricity. If he adds electricity money, he's going to wheelbarrow your ass because you're gonna pay for that. You're gonna pay for that. He gonna get you in all three holes if he has to pay that electric bill. Okay.
mhm.
It just is what it is. You were saying something, Aaliyah. My bad.
oh no, I would. I just steer clear of women like this because I'm telling you, the more you talk to them, the dumber you get because they don't listen to anything. They don't hear you, and really, any conversation you have will result in you two fighting, and probably you gonna end up cursing her ass out because it's like, girl, you're not listening. You're still doing stupid shit. You already struggling in your situation, and somehow you think adding another baby on top of that is gonna help your situation. But see, girls like that, they just want to they want to lay all their shit on you. They don't want nobody that's gonna tell them the truth. See, they just want
Hmm.
to be able to vent to you and tell you everything that they got going on and all their plans and shit like that. But they don't want no feedback though. They don't want you to give it to them straight. And then as soon as you start trying to tell them, then that's when they get pissed off at you. And like I said, the conversation goes absolutely nowhere. When really, I'm just trying to tell you, you are making a big mistake and you're fucking up the situation even more so than it already is by doing what you're doing. They don't want to hear the truth. This is why I just avoid conversations with mammies altogether. Because if you're not saying what she wants to hear, you're not gonna get anywhere with her.
I'm starting to detest the
That's
ass, and
true.
that's just real fucking talk. I am. I'm starting to detest mammies because,
Mhm.
especially the ones that already got kids by different men. You already know what it is, but you won't give up. Also, you're putting the rest of us in danger with this litter of children that you're having. Okay, your boys are growing up to really fuck people up, and they not waiting until they're grown. They're doing it as teenagers, and you want to blame everybody else, but you never seem to blame that dusty ass daddy. That's very, very interesting to me. Welcome to the panel, Carmen. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you? Hey, DC. Hey, panel.
Hey.
Hey.
Well, I just wanted to get up here and say, well, like we were talking about earlier in the Discord, how black males are so perverted and hypersexual at such a young age. Like I remember having small cousins and little cousins when we were kids trying to hump me and trying to lay down with me and do this
Mm.
stuff and that stuff. But it's almost like hindsight is 2020, because when you look at the mammies, they facilitate all this shit. They let you
do.
sleep with them. They bathe you with them. They leave you with them for long periods of time. So it's just like, I just wanted to put that 2 cents in.
No, it's true though. I remember being very, very small, taking baths with my cousins and shit like that. And you're supposed to be able to think that, yeah, these are just children. But by the time black boys turn like 4, 5, 6 years old, they already exploring what it is to violate other people. Y'all, I had this girl. She was a friend of mine, grew up together. She told me that her cousin, he was grown, she was around 14 at the time, that he wanted to have sex with her. Like, he was taking no for an answer. He wasn't taking no for an answer. It was going to happen. And all she can think of was, listen, we don't have any protection. We don't want none of this shit to, get out. We need some protection. Of course, there was no condoms there. Y'all, he grabbed a grocery bag and put it on his dick. Do you hear me? He grabbed a grocery bag and put it on his penis as a makeshift condom to have sex with her. Okay? This is facts. And they want to sit up here and guilt trip us. You got me all the way fucked up.
Yeah.
VB, are you dusty?
I am not dusty.
What's going on, VB?
Hi, I just want to add on to what you just mentioned in the last caller. I just want to say that behavior, the over sexualization of the black boys, they start at a very young age, and I wanted to add my 2 cents into why that is, and it's because their fathers are usually nowhere around or in the picture, right? So what I remember growing up in Blackistan is all the kids play together. The girls never have their own space. Correct me if I'm lying. Like the girls are always together with the boys. Little black boys are always in girls' spaces, start at a very young age, because they don't have any brothers or their uncles to come pick them up, their dads or anything like that. So I remember seeing very inappropriate behavior at a very young age, just because of the lack of supervision and the boys always being around all the girls.
Let me tell y'all something real quick. Y'all don't understand how deep this shit goes. Think back to when you was a kid and your male cousins. I'm talking about, elementary school age. They had their toys. They had the trucks and all that shit. It just depends on how old you were, because a lot of people now, they don't remember basically having toys because it's all electronic now or whatever.
Right.
But they used to have their own toys. Well, if you and your other girl cousin was over playing with the tea set, they would come over there and be like, listen, I'm included. They wanted to take your shit from you. They wanted to, no, give me that doll. They ripped the head off the doll.
Listen,
they start early with wanting to see you miserable. You have to understand it's true.
Yes. Listen, I have a daughter, okay, who has a little cousin. And I started to peep it just because of that, because she would come home and say, Mommy, he put his hands on me. I'm like, well, what did your grandmother do? What are the men over there doing or telling him? First of all, he shouldn't be playing with little girls. So the abuse starts very young, because
the competition starts very young.
Okay.
It starts very young. They always competing with other little black girls, right?
Yes.
It's like, let's race, let's do this, let's do that.
Yes.
And it lasts all their life. At some point, they're supposed to grow out of that and compete with other men,
right.
But they don't. They stay competing with you. I make more money than you. I do this better than you. I'm operating in a white man's world better than you, type motherfuckers. It starts when they're little. All that shit that they do when they're kids and it seems dysfunctional, the shit ain't innocent all the time. It lasts all their life.
It starts at birth.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to add on and agree. You're absolutely right. It starts at birth.
And to be honest, this sensitive ass culture that we're in now is not making it better, where everybody is coddled, everyone gets a trophy, it's like, y'all, do they not know how is no child left behind? They really don't make them work for anything. Like you get a participation trophy now just for showing up. So
Yes.
it doesn't matter if you won anything. So what's the incentive to be the best at something now?
They don't have
They don't teach them how to compete. It's like you are under the impression that everything should be given to you simply because you are you, and it don't work that way. And they wonder where this entitled ass attitude comes from. And it's like, but this culture that we're in is not helping. That's why you can't say anything about them anymore. The censorship, as far as what you can say and how you can say it, it's like it's fucking ridiculous. And if you don't have the platform trying to censor you, you got other women trying to censor you.
That's a
And it's
fact.
like, no, you have to understand how life fucking works. Not everybody is going to fucking like you and or them niggas. Deal with it. I
Yeah.
mean, it's just what it is. But this is the culture that we're in. Nobody's allowed to tell the truth about anything anymore. It
How,
doesn't matter. It's just,
how do you lay down in V formation with a man that just competes with women? Y'all let them compete with y'all so much that they are literally having makeup competitions with y'all now. They learned how to do hair and they have weaves now. Man weaves. I mean, give me a fucking break. How do you let it takes a little bit of submission to let a man get on you and hump on you? And there's no way I would let somebody as feminine as a naker hump on me. You don't get to hump me into submission. You're supposed to be out here competing, and I should want you to hump on me. But that's not the case. That's not the case. They're out here they're operating in a feminine like fashion, and women still giving them babies that they hate, by the way. And if they stay around, they got a 62% chance of touching them, by the way. I don't get it. I don't get it. And mammies, if y'all going to continue to have these motherfuckers, please, please keep them over there. And if you have daughters, let your daughters know that these men don't want them, not the black ones. It's true. They don't. Your son is allowed to bring home whoever in your house. And if your daughter wants to date out, you start thinking something's wrong with her. Everything is wrong with the black community. It's horrible. It's horrible. And I feel sorry for the minor girls that are out here just trying to survive, just trying to live day to day, not getting the attention that the boys get. You can say black girl magic all you want to, but these boys are the ones that got the programs. These boys are the one that got the mentorships and the big brother and all this extra shit, and they still turning out trash. So what does that mean? That means that they are born that way. And Aaliyah just said that they're not teaching them to compete. I'm of the opinion that they can't compete, so they just quit trying to teach them to compete. They're teaching the girls to compete so that they can come back and take care of the niggas. It's just true.
that's just it. They don't really want us to compete because if you're too good at something, or you're too ambitious, or you're too driven, then they have to try to find a way to bring you down a peg or two. Look at that bitch. She thinks she all that. She think this. She think that. And it's like, that's why I say it's just, they're full of shit. You can't win no matter what.
I agree. And that's why I think divestment is imperative, because I have foresight and I see that this community is going nowhere. But if it goes somewhere, it will be on the backs of Black women. And that is what I'm seeing it being set up to where Black women are the ones who are coming in as the saviors. And I just refuse to be a part of that movement. And I would rather not have anything.
You don't have to worry
to do
about
with
it
it.
because they are part of the growing homeless class too. That's
Right.
what happened when they tried to put the community on their back, and now they're suffering. Their middle class is shrinking. They're having issues finding jobs that get, that's in their degreed program or whatever, because they won't unhook from that goddamn nigga. Sabrisha, are you dusty?
No, I'm not dusty. Hi. Hello.
Hey, what you got?
So I had two things. One thing was I had went to the bar this weekend and I met up with my brother, and that's my god brother, and like I have stepbrothers and things like that. And I don't know if you know, but in Boston there's this thing going around where like people are roofing their drinks,
Yeah,
and
that's happening in a lot of places, though. It is.
yeah. So I think like this weekend somebody roofied my drink, and I met up with my brother thinking that like like I could trust him or whatever, but
So you think
I
your
could.
brother roofied you?
I mean, he knew I was really drunk, and he got me even more drunk, and then
See,
he
this is
tried
the
to
shit
make
that
out
boils
with
my
me.
blood. Your brother tried to make out with you, you said.
Yes. And like
Ladies, are you
I was
listening to
blacking
this?
out.
Are you
I was
talking
like,
about your
Yes.
biological brother?
I'm talking about my god brother.
God brother.
But like
I
I
was about to
grew up
say,
my whole childhood with him as him, like we grew up and like this is my brother. Like so, like I can remember bits and pieces of him like trying to kiss me and him telling me to get on top of him, and I'm just like I'm pretending to him like I don't remember anything because like I don't even want to talk about whatever the hell he thought was going on. But like
Shabrisha,
he
let me
didn't.
ask you this. Let me ask you this, and I mean this with the kindest heart possible. If he was doing that when y'all were little, how did you end up meeting up with him for
No, no, no,
drinks?
no. Not when I was little.
Okay.
I'm talking about when we met up for drinks. This is what
Okay,
happened.
so all of this happened in one day. Wow.
So like he came over and he had more alcohol and like I'm drunk, so like me being drunk, I'm just like give me more liquor and then but I'm not thinking like I have to be wary around him. Like,
I hope you have cut his ass off completely.
yeah, like this was not even 2 days ago. Like I just haven't been answering him because he's trying to get me to send him money like, "Oh, you don't remember?" Like,
God damn.
What
yeah.
y'all? I mean, you still talking to him after that?
No, but I'm saying like he was texting me like, "Oh, you remember you supposed to cash out me some money because I sold you some weed and you drank my henny." And I'm just like, "What the like, are you fucking
Alexis
kidding
H in the
me?"
chat said report him. Have you tried to report him?
No, I haven't tried to report him. All I did was call the police station to tell them that like the bar I went to, I probably like got roofied at because
Okay, check this out. While you're still testing positive for whatever they put in you, you probably should get your blood drawn because that's proof right there. Okay.
yeah.
Before your kidneys and liver process that shit out your system, you should get your blood drawn so that you can have lab work that says that you were drugged. I mean, seriously, because if he tried that and then had the nerve to ask you for a cash app the next day, that ain't gonna be the last time he try you. Does he know where you live at?
Yeah, I've
See,
never
that's a problem.
so like
This
we went
motherfucker
back to
try
my
to
house like
date. You try to date on me, and then are bold enough to send me text messages after the fact. See, this is what I'm talking. Hell no. Hell no.
but like
Don't.
after I said I didn't remember anything, I was waiting to see if he was gonna tell me something. He wasn't saying shit.
Well,
So
he's black. That's number one. So he's not going to admit to any wrongdoing. Period. Y'all got to stop testing these motherfuckers. You already know the answer. They lie, they cheat, they steal, they kill, they don't take care of their children, they beat you, right? They are what they are. So the test that you was just running right there to see whether he was going to admit to something, that was a suicide mission right there. That wasn't going to happen.
Well, the
And
first thing
y'all,
we need to do is change the language. He is not your brother and you are not his sister. Because apparently, the relationship you thought you had with him is not the type of relationship he wanted with you. You know what was on his mind now, clearly. If he, he gave you what it was, rohypnol. So basically, he roofed you.
That's a shame.
and guys,
That's a
I had a
shame.
cousin back when I was in Blackistan. I had a cousin in my 20s, and we were hanging out, drinking and smoking and stuff like that. And we got tired, so I was like, you can sleep on the couch. I went in my room, laid in the bed. He texted me and was like, "Can I come lay with you?" This is
Listen,
my
y'all got
cousin.
to stop this shit. Dead serious. Stop hanging around them. I mean, seriously, why are y'all giving access to y'all to black men? Why is this still happening? Y'all got to stop this shit. She said this just happened 2 days ago. And she's saying that she was hanging out with her dusty ass cousins, smoking and drinking.
Well, this was years ago.
Why?
This was 10 years ago, guys.
Okay, well shit.
I'm grown since.
Okay, very, very goddamn good. This is
but the
black
thing they see
no.
people in the comments are saying like, what would you do here? I don't know because I was roofied. So it was like I blacked out. Like so I
What?
don't know.
Don't
Like
See,
go
that's
over
this
there
is what I'm
the
anymore.
last thing
saying.
I remember before I blacked out was him talking about trying to like kiss me. Like he like lunged at me and then
See, this
like
is
I
what
don't
I'm
remember
saying.
anything.
Look, that's not somebody I would ever refer to as a brother of mine
I
ever again.
know.
I really
Because
can't. Like
he tried to come over there and take advantage of you completely. Do not be alone with him again whatsoever under any circumstances. I definitely wouldn't accept anything he has to give me to drink or eat or anything. And he would be lucky if I didn't put a bullet in his ass the next time I saw him.
I have
So
a
for
feeling that Sabrisha, I feel like you're not done with him. I'm just gonna keep it real.
No, it's not weird. Like he's not involved in my daily life. Nothing. Like we were just in contact, because we're family, and like he was like,
You're
"Oh, let's
not
meet up," and like,
family. You're not.
yeah, but that's
Oh,
why we met up was
mm, mm,
just to
mm.
chill. Like that was it.
Y'all chilling with black men. Look, I can't.
It's
Ladies,
it's actually
you
making me
heard
think
her.
of that. Oh, sorry.
Y'all heard her. You heard what she said. Now let me ask you this, Sabrisha. Say for instance, this was your god sister, and she stole your wallet, and you knew she stole it. Would you report her?
I would confront her about it, but I
See
would.
what I'm saying? You see how you would be more active if it was another black woman? You
I
got to.
kind of feel embarrassed. Like,
No, it
Mm,
seems like you are very, I don't want to say because I know I have relatives that are like you. I don't want to say you let people run over you, but that's what it sounds like. Like it sounds like you have a hard time confronting people about something, and when you are, you're not very. And I get it. Some people are not very confrontational. They're
he
not
committed
very
a crime. He committed a crime.
aggressive.
It is
I'm
against the
talking about,
law.
I was talking about even in the other scenario you gave her with the cousin with the wallet, she said, well, I probably wouldn't report her. I would just, and it's like, no, no, no. When you're dealing with a certain group of people, people can say what they want to say, but a certain amount of aggression is going to be warranted. If
Mm-hmm.
some people can smell weakness, it's a reason they call it the survival of the fittest. It's a reason because when people sense any type of weakness, they're gonna exploit that. I'm sorry. So it's like when people know, well, I can do whatever I want to her, or she's not going to call the police on me, or she's not going to do anything about this. Like, just imagine how bold you have to be to do what he did and then turn around and text you and tell you what you owe him after what he did. So just how big does your balls have to be to do that?
And y'all, it's very chilling because it's kind of reminding me of the Zion Foster case, the
No,
girl that
I
went with
want
her
her to
cousin.
answer the question. How big does your balls have to be for him to turn around and do something like that?
I really don't even know. I really think he's a
Very
pussy
big.
because he had to wait for me to be completely fucked up to even try some shit like that.
He knew who he could
Okay.
try. You were selected, ma'am. You were selected because he probably knew that you would react this way and the situation would die down.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Well, the
please don't
second,
block him, please. Block him. If you're not gonna report him, I don't know what to tell you because his ass would be behind bars if it was me.
He's not your brother, honey. I just let me tell you that he's not your brother. I know if you grew since you grew up with him, y'all, you think y'all have this kind of relationship. But trust me, what you're thinking and what he's thinking is two different things. And trust me, he tried to drug you last time. Next time, he just might just go ahead and take it
Take
and
it,
be done with it.
take it, because it operates in stages and it always get worse. Just like with domestic violence, it's always loud ass talking and that type of shit first. Then it's shoving. The next time y'all get into it, he slapped the fuck out your ass. So if you chance it and hang around him again, you gonna have to call the police. I'm just telling you, don't hang around him no more. Y'all better leave these black ass niggas in y'all family alone. Real shit. Real shit.
yeah, I
Fuck a
was
fuck
never really
family.
around him in the first place. But
Okay.
um, the second thing was you were talking about how like when you're educated, they try to break you down and stuff like that. So I'm a nursing student, and my boyfriend, that's what he does like all the fucking time.
Mm.
And he just kind of like, oh, you're worthless, you're useless, blah blah blah. But I'm currently pursuing a bachelor's degree and I have my associates.
This is
Like
what
I
I'm
don't.
saying. I just
I just can't.
don't.
I can't. I don't know why you let these people talk to you. Listen, divest. Divest. You don't need validation from none of these motherfuckers. Not
Please,
one.
honey. I just need you. You sound like such a pushover, and I just I hate that because, like I said, I know good-hearted people like you, and I'm sorry with this community, the men and the women. I'm sorry, you got to get a little bit. I almost said bass in your voice, but you gonna have to speak up. Let people
Wait,
know.
is the
So is
boyfriend a
is
black
your
male?
boyfriend black? Yeah.
He's a light skinned
Oh
black man.
hell. What the
He's
fuck?
a light skinned black man.
And he's
Y'all,
Jamaican, so it's just kind of like a bunch
Oh
of
Oh
different
God,
shit
they
shit.
that
What
really
always
we
hate you.
have to
talking about
do.
here?
you got some background noise, nigger whisperer.
Okay, sorry.
Don't let people push you over. I mean, I'm sorry. You got to get some swag about yourself and be like, look, do you know who the fuck I am? Like, you're not gonna talk to me. Like, no. You
Well,
say you're
first of
getting
all,
a
you gotta get rid of
bachelor's
him.
degree,
Yeah, I
You got
understand
and
what
you're
you guys
getting
saying. Everybody's saying, I need to go to therapy and all this stuff. I am actively in therapy. I am actively working on myself, but this shit don't happen overnight. You feel me? So
No, nobody's saying it has to happen overnight. You clearly know that you have an issue. You do. You know you have an issue. So if you put the story out, right, and then somebody starts giving you advice and telling you what should happen because you need to protect yourself, it's no one attacking you. It's just saying, please, whatever you're doing that's putting you in proximity to these goddamn assholes, knock it off. Knock it off. I
Can I
don't
say
care
something?
that he's family. I don't care that he's a god brother. I don't care if it's an uncle. I don't care who it is. And that's not family. Those your
oh, I
relatives,
didn't
babe.
even say anything about my uncle. I was
No,
pregnant.
Okay,
I'm
well, can I
giving you
say
an
something?
And
example. Lord have
he
mercy.
listen, and my I don't talk to my uncle. I cut my uncle off, but this is the type of family I live in where they
So your
facilitate
uncle is a
bullshit like
problem
this.
too?
My uncle is a fucking drunk, and when I was 13 weeks pregnant, he attacked me. Like straight up was just charging at me, and people had to
Shabrisha,
hold him back from that.
Shabrisha,
Mhm.
darling, get away from these people. Divest from these people.
I mean, that's the
Divest from
purpose of
them.
me going to school to become a nurse, so I can, get my own shit and leave. But right now, these are the cards that I have been dealt. So
The
Can
Okay.
I
boyfriend
talk
too,
to
All
though.
right.
Sabrisha? Can I talk to Sabrisha?
Go
Please.
ahead.
Okay, listen. Is your baby by the guy that you with?
no, so I had a miscarriage.
Okay, so here's the thing I'm going to tell you. Even when I was in Blackistan, I never tolerated anything from these males because what you have to learn is, especially with black men, they are going to try to bring you down because they don't see you as anything else but competition. The higher and set standards and boundaries and give some self-esteem. And when you get it, trust me, the man that you will seek will not be a black one. When you open your eyes and see who you are and see that you are that girl, you won't even want to associate with them or even a mammy. You won't even want to associate yourself with them. And I just, it's making me cringe because I've been through plenty of situations to where black men tried to tear me down, but I came right back on their ass and tore them down because they are the lowest on the totem pole. They can't say shit about nothing or no one. They are literally the bottom of the barrel. They can't say anything to you or about you. And maybe the guy that you're with now, he's probably living off of you because he see that you have potential. You have potential. You're gonna make money. And let me tell you, one of my coworkers, I listened to him talk. Unfortunately, I work side by side with him, so I have to, sort of listen to him or whatever. And his wife is a nurse, and he literally is just living off of her. He's waiting on her pension. You know what I'm saying? Like he's
I
using
gotta
her.
I
They're
gotta jump
using you.
in
They
here.
don't love you.
I gotta jump in here. You
Hmm.
don't need a whole motherfucking diatribe and an explanation for why motherfuckers need to leave black men alone. I think the proof is already out there. You don't need to write a paper. You don't need to do a
Hmm.
dissertation. You shouldn't be having to convince somebody to get the fuck away from black men. All your victimizers have been black males. So that should
Hmm.
be an easy goddamn score. Hey, get away from black men. So when somebody tells you that and your response is, well, I can't, baby,
No.
that means you're not ready to do so. The stories aren't going to help you. I think you're going to have to hit the bottom by on your own because it seems like you're making excuses. I can't with the excuses. I want you to be safe, but the only way to do that is to put your fucking foot down and draw some boundaries. That's the only way to get this done.
DC, hey guys, this is
Yeah.
Carmen. I'm gonna drop down and let y'all have it. I can't. I'm gonna just show
I
up in the
I
Discord. I
got you.
can't. I'm gonna let you
I
drag, DC.
I got you.
Love y'all.
Thank you. Love you too. Thank you for coming up. If there's has to be this long ass story about this person who did this to me and this person did that to me and this person said this and my uncle did this and my godbrother did this and then when somebody says leave, there's resistance. That means you're not ready.
There isn't really any resistance. Is these people come around knowing that they can. Like, I'm only 23, and when all this shit happened, I was like 18 and younger. So
I got you. I hate all of that happened to you. Hopefully your divested journey,
But no, this just happened this past weekend, though. That's
girl,
what I'm saying.
I know, but there's going to be more and more excuses. So I'm just saying, wishing her well, because the thing is, something that just happened the other day versus something that happened when you was 18, the story is getting convoluted. But I tell you what, all of this shit has to do with black males. I do know that.
yeah.
Stay away from your brother. That's the only thing I know to tell you. If you don't want to try to turn him in or press any
I am gonna
charges,
stay away from him. Like, I don't want you guys to sit here and think I'm a mammy or whatever. Like, I do
okay,
listen to divested
well,
channels and I try to be divested, but I feel like it's a little harder.
no,
And
I know you were saying that he was still texting you and stuff like that, which means
he
that
texted me the
he's
day
still,
after, but I stopped responding to him because,
he's
like,
trying to get your attention and trying to find out exactly how much you remember. You just have to make sure that you understand that there's always a motive behind everything that they do. Him texting you after the fact, he wanted to see exactly what you were going to say to see how much you actually remembered. That's
I
what
think
that
she
was.
knows that. I honestly think she knows that. But you got to remember, y'all, it's a lot of women out here that know they should divest, but aren't quite ready to do it completely. I guess folks is doing it in stages, but you better hurry up and get your ass up out of there, y'all. I'm talking to y'all that's in the goddamn crowd. Listen, Carlos, whoever you are, your device is not connected, bitch. Okay? I don't know what you got going on, but if you're going to troll correctly. Do you understand what I'm saying? Troll correctly with your stupid ass. You know what I mean? Walking around here with a Hispanic name, and I know you a goddamn nigga. Fuck out of here. Listen, ladies, the excuses have got to stop. We just went through all the stages of dustiness. They are born that way. And that condition is facilitated and it's grown by the people in that community, mainly mammies. Okay. There is a lot of ways to be mammies, and I've covered this shit several times up here. If you're going to stand in the mirror and try to convince yourself that you're not a mammy, knowing you still doing shit for black men, then you go ahead, you go right ahead. You're going to have to fall on that. It's not going to be everybody else. It's going to be you. You are in danger. You are in danger, and you deserve better than that shit. Word the fuck up. Listen, may I help you? Because we getting ready to get the fuck up out of here and go to my Discord. May I help you? Bye, bitch. Bye, bitch. See you trolls next goddamn time. You motherfuckers are weird. Hey, stay dust free. I love y'all to pieces. We out.
Love you too.
Bye. Thank you, ladies.